Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. It is the place that I go to when I want to talk about the words. Um, let's see. Whoa, that yesterday was long. It was a long episode, and I will try to not talk as much in today's episode. But we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. We'll find out. Okay, the first word in this episode is cornball. A ball of corn. One word, first form, noun from circa 1949. An unsophisticated person. Also, something corny is a cornball. I enjoy being a cornball on occasion. It's good times. Okay, next word. Sound effect will be ha 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 ha. It is the second form of cornball, adjective from 1951. This synonym is just corny, as in cornball humor. I definitely think that a lot of the humor that comes out of my mouth is pretty corny. Ha 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 ha. Next is corn borer. Two words. Borer is B-O-R-E-R, like boring a hole in a thing. Noun from 1861, any of several insects that bore in corn. As it is the European corn borer. That's the synonym. The European corn borer. And then B, the synonym is the southwestern corn borer. Why is that so hard to say? Next word. Ha 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 ha. It is cornbread. Two words. Noun from 1719. Bread made with cornmeal. Just last night, we had dinner with my family, and my mom made some cornbread for the people who could eat it. I think there was dairy and eggs in it, so we didn't have it. But, yeah, cornbread. You don't see, we don't have cornbread very often in our family, so that was kind of unique. And then today, I'm reading cornbread. Good times. Yeah, what's cornmeal? Do they dry up the corn and mash it up and it becomes this mealy substance? I think that's probably what it is. And then you can use it. Well, maybe we'll see cornmeal. Are we gonna? Where is it? Cornmeal. A couple of episodes from now. Okay. Next word. Ha 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 ha. It is corn chip. Two words, noun from 1917. A piece of a dry, crisp snack food prepared from a seasoned cornmeal batter. I very much like that definition. A piece of a dry, crisp snack food. So, how do they make them? Do they make like a big platter of this cornmeal batter and make it hard and crispy, like baking it, and then you break off a piece? That's why it is a piece of a dry, crisp snack food. I don't know. That's not what I would call it. But I guess that's pretty good. I like me some corn chips. Next word. Ha 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 ha. Corn cob. One word, noun from 1792. 1. The core on which the kernels of corn are arranged. The corn kernels are arranged on a core, which is a cob, a corn cob. 2 is just an ear of corn. A lot of people don't like to eat corn from a corn cob. Maybe it's a teeth thing. They don't like to put their teeth on the thing. Some people, they just cut it off with a knife. That's totally cool. I personally kind of like it. I clean off that corn cob so good. So clean that corn cob is when I'm done with it. Next word. Ha. Corn cob pipe. Two words. Noun from 1832. A tobacco pipe with a bowl made of a corn cob. I know there are pipes these days that are made to look like a corn cob pipe, but back in the day, people literally made a pipe out of a corn cob. At least the end of it was. Yeah, maybe we'll post a picture of that. They needed to smoke the stuff. They needed to smoke the tobacco, and they didn't have anything else. maybe their pipe broke or something, and they were surrounded by corn, and they said, I am going to open up one of these, and I'm gonna make a bowl out of it so I can smoke my tobacco. That's probably what happened. They just needed a way to smoke their tobacco, and they had corn around. Next word, ha 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 ha. It is corn cockle. 2 words. Cockle is C-O-C-K-L-E, noun from 1713, an annual hairy weed of the pink family with purplish red flowers that is found in grain fields. And the scientific name is Agrostemma githago, or Gethago. I think it's Gethago. It's in the pink family, but it's purplish red, and I wouldn't call purplish red pink, so maybe it should be in the purplish red family. Okay, next word. Ha 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 ha. It is corncrake. 1 word. Crake is C-R-A-K-E, noun from the 15th century. A Eurasian short-billed rail, R-A-I-L, that frequents grain fields. I feel like we have seen that word rail before. This must be a bird. Yeah, that's short-billed. The scientific name is a good one. It is crex, C-R-E-X twice. And the first one is capitalized. Where did that name come from? Crex. What does that mean? I got to go to my Latin dictionary. I don't have one. Okay, next word. Ha 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 ha. It is corn crib. 1 word. Noun from 1681. A crib for storing ears of corn. Oh, you can put them to bed in their crib. Next word. Ha 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 ha. Corn dodger. 2 words. Noun from 1834. This is chiefly southern and Midland. It is a cake of corn bread that is fried, baked, or boiled as a dumpling. And that sounds pretty amazing to me. A corn dodger. I could use a vegan version of that. Next word. Ha ha ha. It is corn dog. 2 words. I don't know if I would have known, is corn dog 1 word or 2 words? If I had to write it down, I probably would question that. It's 2 words. Noun from 1967. A frankfurter dipped in cornmeal batter, fried, and served on a stick. This is probably a very similar cornmeal batter that they used to make cornbread. So it's basically a hot dog in cornbread. Somebody wanted to combine those, and they didn't know how to do it until they said, okay, I'm going to put it inside. I'm going to put it on a stick, and I'm going to fry it up. What if you baked it? How would that turn out? That would be different. And why did they use the word frankfurter? Could they not have used the word hot dog? Is hot dog too similar to corn dog? Is frankfurter more general and descriptive? I'm not sure. I'm just nitpicking the word usage. I bet you they nitpicked it themselves. Yeah. Are there other batters that you can make a corn dog? I mean, it wouldn't be a corn dog. Like what's the batter that they use for pancakes or funnel cake? Then it would be like a sweet dog of some kind. Maybe a little sweet. Maybe you don't put sugar on it or syrup. I don't know. That's a thing that somebody could do. Next word. Ha 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 ha. It is cornea. This is about your eyeball. Noun from the 14th century. The transparent part of the coat of the eyeball that covers the iris and pupil and admits light to the interior. And it says to see the eye illustration. Corneal, with an L, is an adjective. And let's see, it is it's the Latin word feminine of the male word corneus, which means horny. Yes, horny. And I wonder if that's because the cornea, when you look at it from the side, it sticks out. It sort of bumps out from the rest of the eyeball. So I don't know, back in the day, they were like, it's a horn, kind of. It's not a horn. It's just like the corn on your foot. They called it a horn, kind of. I don't know. I wouldn't call it that. But I think that's where they got that from. If you look at a cat's eyeball from the side, their cornea, I get worried about it. I get worried that it's going to get hurt or injured because it's just so big and it gathers so much light. It's this lens that's just built to gather all the light around, which is why they can see so good in the dark. But yeah, it's cool to look at a cat's eyeball from the side. Okay, next word. Ha 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 ha. It is corn earworm. 2 words. I don't like where this is going. Corn earworm. Noun from 1802. A noctuid moth whose large striped yellow-headed larva is especially destructive to corn, tomatoes, tobacco, and cotton balls? B-O-L-L-S. Cotton balls. The scientific name, there's a couple of them. Helicoverpa zea. Helicoverpa zea. And the other one is Heliothis zea. And I think it's just a moth that is out at the nighttime, and the larva, the young of this moth, destroys lots of crops: corn, tomatoes, tobacco, and cotton balls. I hope they do not go into your ear. Next word. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. It is cornel or cornell. Noun from 1551. Any of various shrubs or trees of the dogwood family, and then specifically the synonym dogwood. And the genus is Cornus. Latin cornus, it means cornel cherry tree. It is akin to the Greek koranon, which means cornel cherry tree. Next word. Cornelian. Noun from the 15th century. The synonym is carnelian. Carnelian. And the word that we had here was cornelian. Next word. Corneous. Corneous. Adjective from 1646. And it means of a horny texture. So something bumpy, I would imagine. Bumpy and rough. What else? I don't know what a horny texture would be. What is the thing that has a horny texture? I don't know. I just keep on imagining something bumpy like that. And it's corneous. Okay, we are on our last word. Ha 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 ha. Making sounds with my vocal cords. It is the first form of the word corner. corner. Noun from the 13th century. 1a. The point where converging lines, edges, or sides meet. And the synonym is angle. 1b. The place of intersection of 2 streets or roads. Let's go meet at the corner. Which corner? There's 4 corners. 1c. A piece designed to form, mark, or protect a corner. 2. The angular part or space between meeting lines, edges, or borders near the vertex of the angle, as in the southwest corner of the state. Also as in the corners of the tablecloth. The angular part or space between meeting lines. In the United States, you can go to the point, the 4 corners. What is it? Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and it's either Arizona or New Mexico. Actually, maybe it's not Wyoming. Maybe it's New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Colorado. I think that might be it. There's a very specific point where the 4 corners of those meet. there's not a whole lot of places where the states are designated or countries are designated by very clear lines. It's usually wavy lines that are from a river or from, made by the natural topography. But they said, here, we're just going to do straight lines. And then in The Simpsons, they spoofed it by doing the 5 corners, and they all stood, because there's 5 people in the family, they all stood on a corner. But that doesn't exist in the real world. That was just the corner of the state train of thought. Now we have 2A, the area of a playing field or court near the intersection of the sideline and the goal line or baseline. 2B1, either of the 4 angles of a boxing ring, especially the area in which a boxer rests or is worked on by his seconds during periods between rounds. Gentlemen or ladies, doesn't matter, go to your corners so you can rest in between rounds. 2B2, a group of supporters, well-wishers, or adherents associated especially with a contestant. I'm trying to think of how they would use that. The people in your corner, they've got your back. They're supporting you. They are in your corner, which, that goes back to boxing. I think that's where that comes from. Boxing. Yep. Okay. 2C, the side of home plate nearest to or farthest from a batter. 2D, the synonym is corner kick. That's soccer, right? You kick the ball from the corner and see if you can get it in the goal. 2E1, the outside of a football formation. Relatedly, 2E2, the synonym is cornerback. So I don't know most of the terms in football, the names of the people, and so now I guess I know that the cornerback is the one who's on the outside. When they're all formed at the line of scrimmage, the one on the outside is the cornerback. It's the corner. It's the I don't know if corner is the best word, but it's what they used. It's fine. I'll allow it. 3A, a private, secret, or remote place, as in a quiet corner of New England. Also as in, to every corner of the earth. To every corner. Something, we're going to send a message to every corner of the earth. What should that message be? I have some thoughts. 3B, a difficult or embarrassing situation. A position from which escape or retreat is difficult or impossible, as in, was backed into a corner. Also, try not to paint yourself into that corner. 4. Control or ownership of enough of the available supply of a commodity or security, especially to permit manipulation of the price. 5. A point at which significant change occurs, and this is often used in the phrase, turn the corner. A point at which significant change occurs. Yes, we have turned the corner on something new, something bigger. Cornered with an ED is an adjective. There is a phrase around the corner, and that means at hand, or the synonym imminent. That thing is gonna happen. It's just around the corner, as in the example, good times are just around the corner. Oh, if we could just get there, we will have ourselves some good times. Okay, so the words today were cornball, corn borer, cornbread, corn chip, corn cob pipe, corn cockle, corn crake, corn crib, corn dodger, corn dog, cornea, corn earworm, cornell, cornelian, corneus, and corner. I will probably pick one of these corn words. I mean, there's food. I like the food, corn dog, corn chip, corn bread. The corn dodger, that one though. That one sounds the most interesting, and I've never had one. Let's pick corn dodger as the word of the episode. It is. A corn dodger is a cake of cornbread that is fried, baked, or boiled as a dumpling. Let's eat some corn dodgers. Okay, let's do the holiday time thing. In Arizona, it is Statehood Day. Also, Oregon has Statehood Day. The Armenian Apostolic Church has Presentation of Jesus at the Temple. Let's present him. Parts of India are celebrating Parents' Worship Day. Valentine's Day in the States and maybe other places. Australia has the Regatta. Clean out your computer day. Clean all of it out. It's Frederick Douglass Day. Maybe today was his birthday. We need to celebrate him more than, I think, holidays that are there just to sell more cards and chocolates. Profess your love to your person all the time. International Book Giving Day. Give the books out so people can read the books. International Epilepsy Day. International, what is this? Quirky Alone Day? But quirky alone is one word. And I have a feeling that this is in opposition to Valentine's Day. It is League of Women's Voters Day. Are there places in the world where women still can't vote? I would believe that that is true, and that makes me sad. It is Library Lovers Day. I think that would be related to International Book Giving Day. All you have to do is go get a library card, and the people at the library will give you books that you have to bring back. National Call-In Single Day. This is great. So does this mean you call in sick to work, but you're calling in, you say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't work today. I'm single. National Cream-Filled Chocolates Day. These are super tasty. Obviously, that's because of Valentine's Day. Maybe people like to give out chocolates, sometimes cream-filled chocolates, on this day. National Ferris Wheel Day. National Have a Heart Day. National Organ Donor Day. Go sign up to be an organ donor. I think America needs to change up our system. We have an opt-in system instead of an opt-out system. So the default should be that you are automatically added to the organ donor list, and then if you don't want to be, you have to opt out of it. It is Oatmeal Monday. Pet Theft Awareness Day. Don't nobody go stealing my pets. I would be very mad. Race Relations Day. Read to Your Child Day. Okay. Anything else? Nope. That's it. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information to you. Just to you. No, not you. The other, you over there. Okay, bye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. There's another episode of this show. My name is Spencer, and I am the one reading the dictionary, and you are the one listening to me read the dictionary. Okay, so the first word in this episode is the second form of corner, C-O-N. No, that's not how you spell it. C-O-R-N-E-R. Adjective from the 13th century. 1. Situated at a corner, as in the corner drugstore. 2. Used or fitted for use in or on a corner, as in a corner table. It's the table, it's only allowed to be in the corner. It can't go anywhere else. Once I had a couch, it was an L-shaped couch, and the middle section where where the two sides meet, it was curved, and there was a corner table that came with the couch. The couch was kind of tall, so that the table was tall, and it was curved. It fit the corner of the couch, the curved corner, and so that was very, very specific corner table. Oh, I have to do a sound effect. I'm just going to do a little dog bark. Bark, bark. We'll see if I change it. Third form of corner, This is a verb from 1824, starting with transitive. 1a, to drive into a corner, as in, the animal is dangerous when cornered. It does not want to be in the corner, and so it only has one place to go, and that's towards you. So be careful. Try not to corner an animal, especially one with sharp things on it. 1b, to catch and hold the attention of, especially to force an interview. Like if somebody gets cornered in an elevator to have a meeting, talk about something. 2, to get a corner on, as in corner the market. Now we have intransitive. 1, to meet or converge at a corner or angle. 2, to turn a corner, as in the car corners well. It's got a very tight turn radius. All right, next word, bark, 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 bark. It is cornerback. One word, noun from 1955, a defensive halfback in football who defends the flank. And didn't we have another football-related words? I don't even remember where it was. It was something, and I remember talking about it, and now I can't remember where it was. That's okay. But what is a halfback? A defensive halfback, maybe it's where they're positioned. They defend the flank. You have to defend that flank. Bark, bark, bark. I don't know what that was. Next word, corner kick. 2 words, noun from 1882. A free kick from a corner of a soccer field awarded to an attacker when a defender plays the ball out of bounds over the end line. I don't follow soccer, so I don't know the details of why this happens other than what I just read, which I don't remember. But yes, I do know. It's you get to try and kick it from the corner and see if you or one of your players can get it in the goal. Goal! Bark, bark, bark. Next word is cornerman or cornerman. 1 word, noun from 1957, one who plays in or near the corner. But what corner? Where's the corner? We have 1A, the synonym is cornerback. And 1B, a basketball forward. 2, a boxer's second. Second what? Oh, the person who's with them. They're their cornerman. In the corner, they are the person who's helping them out, talking them through the stuff, maybe fixing their medical problems. They're their cornerman. In the corner, usually it's a man. Cornerback, that word in football, it's way too similar to quarterback. They sound very, very similar. So you have to really emphasize what you're trying to say or ask questions. Which back are you talking about? Cornerback or quarterback? They're very similar. Okay, next word. Bark, bark. Cornerstone. Noun from the 13th century. 1, a stone forming a part of a corner or angle in a wall. Specifically, such a stone laid at a formal ceremony. Formal. The words like that are so hard for my mouth. I don't know why. 2, a basic element, and the synonym is foundation, as in a cornerstone of foreign policy. You have to put the cornerstone so you know where the rest of the building is going to go. Is that how it works? Next word. Bark, bark. Cornerways. Corner, W-A-Y-S. This is all one word. Adverb from 1845. And the synonym is diagonally. And just because we have another similar word, bark, bark. It's the word cornerwise, one word adverb from the 15th century, and this also, the synonym is diagonally. So cornerwise was the first one, and then, so that makes sense. You gotta go from corner to corner. That's a diagonal. And then it became cornerways. For some reason, they changed wise to ways. And then somehow it went to diagonally. I can't wait. until we get to the D's so we can learn about why that word is. Who made up diagonal? Okay, next word. It is cornet. C-O-R-N-E-T, first form. Cornet. The British usually will say cornet, emphasizing the first syllable. You know, they might be right, they might be wrong, we'll never know. This is a noun from the 14th century. 1. A valved brass instrument resembling a trumpet in design and range, but having a shorter, partly conical tube and less brilliant tone. The cornet is not quite as brilliant as the trumpet. We will post a picture of a cornet. And did this one? It says it is valved. There's something different about it. It's similar, but maybe we should do a comparison between a cornet and a trumpet. What is the difference? 2. Something shaped like a cone, as 2A, a piece of paper twisted for use as a container. 2B, a cone-shaped pastry shell that is often filled with whipped cream. Oh yeah, a cornet. And 2C, this is British. It is an ice cream cone. And then so there's that. I think the brand is Cornetto, and then those amazing British filmmakers made the Cornetto trilogy of Shaun of the Dead and The World's End. I always mix that up with the other one that came out around the same time and had a similar title, and then Hot Fuzz, of course. It's ice cream, and you if you want to know why that's the Cornetto trilogy, you can go look that up. Cornetist, spelled with one T or two T's in the middle, is a noun. The one who plays the cornet, maybe one who makes the pastries or the ice creams. This is from Middle French diminutive of corn, which means horn, and that's all the information for that one. Next word. It is cornet, the second form, noun from 1579. 1. The standard of a cavalry troop. The standard of a cavalry troop. 2A. The one-time 5th grade of commissioned officer in a British cavalry troop who carried the standard. And I have no idea what any of this means. What is the standard? What is the one-time 5th grade of commission? I don't understand this. 2B. The one-time lowest commissioned rank in the U.S. cavalry. This is from the Middle French cornet with an E-T-T-E, and this is a woman's headdress with a lappet, pennon, standard. A standard is a thing, and that is from the diminutive. It is the diminutive of the word corn. So, what? We were not going to see cornet, that word here, because it would be next. But interesting. I don't know what a lappet is. I don't know what a pennon is or a standard. So much to learn. So little time. Let's move on to bark bark. Corn-fed. 2 words with a hyphen. Feeding something with the corn. Adjective from the 14th century. 1. Fed or fattened on grain. As corn. Corn is one of those examples. As in corn-fed hogs. 2. I feel like I am a corn-fed hog. I've been seeing a few movies in the theater safely and eating the popcorn, so I'm corn-fed. 2. Looking well-fed, and the synonym is plump. 3. Rustically wholesome or corny, as in corn-fed humor. I have never heard humor described as corn-fed, but I guess it makes sense when you put it in those terms. Rustically wholesome. Feel like it's very down home, feel like it's rural, maybe on a farm. Are these corn-fed humor, are those jokes that are told on a farm? and they're very corny. Oh, there's a pun in there. Okay, next word. Rough. Cornfield, one word, noun from the 14th century, a field in which corn is grown. That's where they grow the corn, in the cornfield. I heard that the leaves of corn are very sharp, actually. So somebody I know, Sam, he had some family who lived on a farm, and he said that the leaves are very sharp. And so in movies, you see people running through the cornfields, and if you did that, I think you would get. It sounds like there was a good chance you would get cut up. I don't know. I've never run through a cornfield. I have no experience, so maybe he's right and maybe he's wrong. Okay, next word. Bark. Cornflakes, noun from 1907. Toasted flakes made from the coarse meal of hulled corn for use as a breakfast cereal. Hulled, so it's the coarse meal. I'm trying to think. So they just mash it up, and then they dry it out. They probably bake it. Toasted. It's toasted. I don't know why. Just eat some corn. That's basically what they're trying to get you to. Just flakes of corn. It's a very odd thing when you think about it. Next word, barky bark. Corn flour, 2 words, and flour is spelled Flour. This is a noun from 1791. It is British, and the synonym is cornstarch, which, when are we going to see that? Two episodes from now for cornstarch. Corn flour, cornstarch. Now we have bark. Corn flour, again, this is 1 word, and flour is Flower. Noun from 1841. Number 1, the synonym is corn cockle. And did we have that? Was that a thing that we read before? Yes, corn cockle right over here, an annual hairy weed of the pink family with purplish red flowers that is found in grain fields. It's the flower amongst the corn. Number 2 for corn flour, the synonym is bachelor's button. Okay, I think that's good for that. Let's move on to arf. Cornflower blue, 2 words, noun from 1907. It is a moderate purplish blue. So I assume that the cornflower flowers have this moderate purplish blue color. Maybe we will post a picture of it. Just to confirm our suspicions. Next word, bark. I don't know why I'm doing a double bark. Okay, next word is corn husker. 1 word, the C is capitalized. It is a noun from circa 1948, a native or resident of Nebraska, and this is used as a nickname. Do all of the states' people's nicknames, are they all in this book? How many states have nicknames for people? I know Indiana is Hoosiers. There's a bunch of other ones. Depends on maybe the part of the state they might have different nicknames. How many of them are going to be in here? Here's one. Maybe I already read another one. I have no memory of that. If you are in Nebraska, you are a corn husker because you like to husk the corn. I don't know. You probably don't ever touch corn, chances are. Let's move on from that. Actually, not really. Bark. It is corn husking, 1 word, noun from 1692. A social gathering, especially of farm families, to husk corn. It's a whole party to take care of the corn. And it very likely is happening in Nebraska right now. Right as you're listening to this, there is a corn husking social gathering. Okay, last word. Bark. It is the first form of the word cornice, 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 or you can pronounce it Cornish, with an SH, Cornish. First form, noun from 1563, 1A, the molded and projecting horizontal member that crowns an architectural composition. And it says to see the column illustration, which we did that a while ago. That's when I had to break out my phone because the text was so tiny. I had to take a picture and then read the picture. The molded and projecting horizontal member that crowns an architectural composition. So it's the top of a column, I think. Yeah, it's the cornice. 1B, a top course that crowns a wall. The top course that crowns a wall. Is that where the wall and the ceiling meet? It's the crown, so it's the top of the wall probably. So that molding, I'm actually looking at some right now. That molding, is that called the cornice? If I were like a real estate agent, I would know all of these things, but I never studied places to live. Number 2 for cornice, a decorative band of metal or wood used to conceal curtain fixtures. And 3, an overhanging mass of wind-blown snow or ice, usually on a ridge. So what does the etymology for cornice say? It is Middle French from Italian. It doesn't give me the Italian word, but maybe it's the same. And that means frame or cornice. Cornice means cornice. From the Latin prefix cornic or cornix, which means crow, like the bird? Maybe it's where the birds sit, the crows sit. It is akin to the Greek korax, which means raven, and there's more of the word raven. So, the best thing I can think of is that it's just the place where the birds sit, because it's up at the top. So they just called it a cornice. Interesting. Okay, so all of the words, one more time. Corner, cornerback, corner kick, corner man, cornerstone, corner ways, corner wise, cornet, cornet, corn-fed, cornfield, cornflakes, cornflower, corn husker blue. No, I mixed them up. I combined them. Cornflower blue, corn husker, corn husking, and cornice. I think, let's see. Oh, I like that, but, I think, so we got some things going on in this episode. We've got flowers. We've got foods. We've got musical instruments. We've got sports. I think I will pick corner wise, all one word, as the word of the episode because it's just an old way to say diagonally, and I like it. I am going to cross this intersection corner wise. All of you cars have to stop and watch me cross corner wise. All right, I think that is a fine place to read the holidays. What is today? February 15th is the day that this episode is airing. In both Arizona and Oregon, it is Statehood Day. In the Armenian Apostolic Church, it is Presentation of Jesus at the Temple. In parts of India, it is Parents' Worship Day. Does that mean that the parents have to worship other things, or do the people have to worship the parents? In Canada, it is National Flag Day of Canada Day. In India, it is Hazrat Ali's birthday. In, I don't know where, because it's international, International Duties Memorial Day. DUTIES, the things that people have to do. But of course, I think it would be funny if we had a memorial service for all of the duties in the toilet. In Serbia, it is Statehood Day of the Republic of Serbia. Fun holidays. Annoy Squidward Day. And that is Squidward from SpongeBob, which I have never really watched. So maybe I need to watch some SpongeBob. Someday, I think I will actually watch the entire thing from the beginning. And then maybe I will learn why today is Annoy Squidward Day. National Gumdrop Day, National Hippo Day, National I Want Butterscotch Day. It's not National Butterscotch Day, although that could be sometime else in the year. I want butterscotch. I want butterscotch. Remember the Maine Day, and that is Maine. Is it the state Maine? Is there a ship called the Maine? I don't know, but we must remember it. Singles Awareness Day. Be aware of the people who are single. What is this? Saint Skeletor's Day? Saint Skeletor? Skeletor is the guy from He-Man. Saint Skeletor? I don't understand that. Susan B. Anthony Day. This is a good one. She had a big role in getting women the vote in America. And she's on a coin, isn't she? She's on the dollar, one of the dollars. I think we got Sacagawea, also the Susan B. Anthony. What else? Lantern Festival. That's it. Those are all the holidays. I'm sorry. I know you wanted more, but I can't give you any more until tomorrow. All right, this is the end of this episode. Thank you very much for listening. Go share it. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. So I have things that I can say. Go look in the show notes. Should I just say that and just leave it at that? No. I will quickly say, if you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, at dictionarypod is where you can go. You can go find it. If I was more motivated, I would be putting things on TikTok, but I don't know how to do that. And email me, dictionarypod@gmail.com. You can record your own little sound effect or a 5 to 10 second musical ditty to play at the beginning of the show and the end maybe. And there's a Google Voice number if you want to call and leave a message and tell me what you think about anything in the world. And also write a review and share this. Go send it out to all the places. Okay, this is the last section of page 278. The first word is the second form of Cornish. You could probably also say Cornish, just like the first form. This one is a transitive verb from 1744, to furnish or crown with a cornice. Go cornice that thing over there with a cornice. For the sound effect, I think I will stick to the animal sound theme. Should we do that for a little while? Okay, let's do that. Yesterday was a bark. Maybe today we'll just do the standard cow sound. Moo. Next word is Corniche. 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 Noun from 1835. A road built along a coast and especially along the face of a cliff. Why would people put roads here? Because we want to go explore and see what's around the corner of the cliff. This is French, and it literally means cornice. From the Italian, well, how do they say it? Cornice, maybe? It's spelled the same way. The Corniche road is a cornice because it's a thing that's high up along the edge, and so that's where the crows and the ravens sit. Why is it called a niche? Corniche? Why did we get to that pronunciation? Corniche. And those roads are very scary to drive. I've seen videos, and I don't want to be there unless we're very, very safe. Okay, next word, moo. Cornichon. Cornichon. I think it's a knee sound. Cornichon. I like to say cornichon. Cornichon. Noun from 1928. It is a sour gherkin, usually flavored with tarragon. And a gherkin, it looks like a little I think I was going to say pillow. Looks like a little pickle. Gherkin is gherkin, and it is sour, and it is usually flavored with tarragon. This is a French word, cornichon, which means gherkin, literally means little horn, diminutive of corn with an E at the end, which means horn. So that is all a cornichon is. It just looks like a little horn. Next word, corniculate cartilage. 2 words, corniculate, Corniculate, and then cartilage. Noun from circa 1909, a small nodule of yellow elastic cartilage articulating with the apex of the arytenoid. It's just a little piece of yellow elastic cartilage. This is from the Latin corniculatus, which means horned. That's basically it. It's looks like a horn, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of, is that this little nodule of yellow elastic cartilage sort of looks like a horn. So it's corniculate cartilage. Next word, moo. Cornification. Cornification. Is this turning something into corn? It's a noun from circa 1843. Conversion into horn or a horny or keratinous substance or tissue. Yeah, basically because corn means horn in these old languages or other languages. It's not hornification. I don't know why you wouldn't just say hornification. It's cornification. Conversion into a horn or a horny or keratinous substance or tissue. So maybe, corns. What the corns on the foot. Your foot is going through cornification because it's getting like a horn on the side, which is really just a corn. But it's a horn? It's a corn. I don't know. Okay, moo. Move over cornification. Now we have to talk about the word Cornish, capital C, Ornish. First form, adjective from the 14th century, of, relating to, or characteristic of Cornwall, Cornishmen, or Cornish. And I think that last one, Cornish, is the second form. So it related to Cornwall, the second form of Cornish, or Cornishmen, which we will also talk about soon. This is from Middle English, Cornish, Cornysshe, which is Cornwall, England. Maybe there are cows around that area. Second form of Cornish, capital C, noun from 1547. 1. The Celtic language of Cornwall. 2. Any of an English breed of domestic chickens, much used in crossbreeding for meat production, compared to rock Cornish hen. And, it's a chicken or a language. Next word, moo. Cornish man. Well, it's probably Cornishman, but it's spelled like a man. This is also with a capital C. Noun from the 15th century, a native or resident of Cornwall, England. You cannot call yourself a Cornishman if you are not from Cornwall. And if you're a woman, I guess you can also call yourself a Cornishman, but you are not a man, you are a woman. So, use whatever name you want. And I don't think, Cornish woman is not here. Next word, moo. Cornish pastry, 2 words, also with a capital C again. Noun from 1871. I would assume that this is a pastry that is made in Cornwall, England, or was originated in Cornwall, England. So let's read it and find out. It is a filled pastry containing cooked meat and vegetables. So it probably comes from Cornwall, but it does not say. It could also be containing Cornish chickens. We had to kill the chickens to put them in the pastry. That's it for that. Next word, moo. It is Cornish Rex. 2 words with a capital C. Yeah, Rex, R-E-X. That R is often capitalized, though. This is a noun from 1972. Any of a breed of cats with a very short, soft, wavy coat free of guard hairs and a small head with large ears. And I really want to see a picture of a Cornish Rex. I am not familiar what guard hairs are. Audrey, you are sitting there comfortably at the end of the bed, just enjoying this podcast episode. What is a guard hair? Can you please tell me? You look like you're about to fall asleep. All right, I'm not going to get any answer out of her. Okay, that is Cornish Rex. Next, moo. Corn law. 2 words, capital C, capital L. It's the laws that pertain to the ears of corn. Noun from 1766, one of a series of laws in force in Great Britain before 1846, prohibiting or discouraging the importation of grain. So yes, it is literally the laws about corn, but also just grain in general. And corn probably was the most popular, the one that everybody loved the most, so they called it the Corn Law. It was looks like it was in effect for what is this? 80 years. 80 years. Somebody lived their whole life, but probably many people could live a whole life, birth to death, and living in this time of corn law, prohibiting or discouraging the importation of grain. They could not bring grain in during their whole lifetime. That is so sad for them. Let's move on to the next word. Moo, moo, moo. Corn leaf aphid. 3 words, noun from circa 1939. A dusky, greenish, or brownish aphid that feeds on the flowers and foliage of various commercially important grasses, and the example of that grass would be corn. Yeah, I think corn is a grass, but is it also a grain? Can they be the same and different at the same time? It's a grass that said, "Whoa, I got so long, I need to put energy into making this fruity vegetable thing." Which is it? Well, the world will never know. Okay, this aphid, I got stuck on that whole corn is a grass thing. This is an aphid. It's a dusky greenish or brownish, either one. The scientific name is Rhopalosifum mitis. Rhopalosifum mitis. I think I said it correctly enough. Should we see if we can post a picture of this aphid? Maybe we will. Okay, next word. Cornmeal. Cornmeal. 1 word, noun from 1749. Meal ground from corn. And then they sort of flatten it out and toast it, and it becomes corn flakes. Should be cornmeal flakes. And that's that. Cornmeal, it is also used in other things. They feed animals with it. They feed humans with it. They put it in, I think, alcohols of different kinds. They use sometimes cornmeal as the thing to make it from. I have no idea how that process works. Next word, moo. Corn oil. 2 words, noun from 1879. A yellow fatty oil obtained from the germ of corn kernels and used chiefly as salad oil, in soft soap, and in margarine. Corn oil, so they process the corn and get the oil from it, and it can be used in salad oil. Soft soap. What is is that like a liquid soap? Or is it just, what's hard soap? Is there medium soap? I'm so confused by soap. Also, they use it in margarine. So yeah, it must be a big major ingredient in margarine. Next word, moo. This is a funny one. Corn pone. It's kind of hard to say. Corn pone, P-O-N-E, one word, adjective from 1972. The synonyms are down home, two words with a hyphen, and also countrified. Like you've been converted from a city mouse to a country mouse. You've been countrified. You're down home on the farm. Corn pone. I have never heard that before. I love it. Next word, moo. Maybe those cows are corn pone cows. So the next word is corn pone again, but this one is two words. I think you can probably figure out where the separation is. Noun from 1859. This is Southern and Midland cornbread, often made without milk or eggs, and baked or fried. Is there butter in it, though? This sounds actually almost vegan. So maybe I can have some of this corn pone cornbread. That's hard to say. Baked or fried. Sounds amazing. Next word, moo. Corn poppy. Two words. Noun from circa 1859. An annual red-flowered Eurasian poppy, common in fields and cultivated in several varieties. And the scientific name is Papaver roeas. Papaver is P-A-P-A-V-E-R. Maybe it's papaver. And then roeas is R-H-O-E-A-S. Roeas. Do not quote me on these pronunciations. Please and thank you. Puppies, puppies, puppies. Next word, moo. It is corn rootworm. Two words. Corn is its own word. Rootworm is another word. Noun from 1892. Any of several chrysomelid beetles whose root-eating larvae are pests, especially of corn. And the genus name for these beetles is Diabrotica. Chrysomelid beetles. Get their larvae away from the corn, but also they deserve to live, so don't kill them. Put them somewhere else. Maybe just feed them corn that you don't want anymore. Okay, next, last word, moo, me, moo, 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 moo. The last word is cornrow. One word, C-O-R-N-R-O-W, noun from 1946. 1. A section of hair which is braided, usually flat to the scalp. So a section of hair, one section of the hair in a cornrow hairstyle would be a cornrow, one row. And I assume that it must be called cornrow because it looks like rows of corn. You know, you drive down the highway and you see cornfields and you look down and it's row after row after row with a bit of space in between. So, you know, this hairstyle kind of looks like that. And then number 2 for cornrow, a hairstyle in which the hair is divided into cornrow sections arranged in rows. I wonder who the first person was to name this, to maybe make the hairstyle, although that was probably very, very long time ago. Probably lots of people were doing it at the same time. But then who said, it looks like rows of corn? And then cornrow is also a verb. So you can cornrow your hair into cornrows or into a cornrow hairstyle. There is a picture of this hairstyle, and I think we've all probably seen this. Here's the thing. It is a, how do I put this? How do I put this and not get into a whole big thing? Sometimes certain people will have this hairstyle, and it is not the most culturally respective thing to do. I think that is a fine, simple way to say it, and I think you all probably know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the words in this episode were cornice, corniche, cornichon, corniculate cartilage, cornification, cornish, Cornishman, Cornish pastry, Cornish Rex, corn law, corn leaf aphid, cornmeal, corn oil, corn pone, corn poppy, corn rootworm, and corn row. Let's see. There was a lot of things going on in this one again. We've got corn. I think I like corn pone. Down home and countrified. When I go to the farm, I get corn pone. Audrey put her head down because of that song. It was so terrible. All right, let's see the holidays. I think on this first page of holidays that I read, in yesterday's episode, I had not updated the page. So I will quickly just read those for you. In Russia, this is International Duties Memorial Day. That is in Russia, but it's also international because it's in the name. In Vanuatu, it is John Frum Day. In Afghanistan, it is Liberation Day. This was all yesterday, but you might be listening to this on a whole different day anyway. It doesn't even matter. In Mahayana Buddhism, it is Parinirvana Day, also celebrated on February 8th. Yes, I thought I remembered hearing that before. Serbia has Statehood Day. The Susan B. Anthony Day is supposedly only in Florida. In Philadelphia, it is the ENIAC Day. In Singapore, it is Total Defense Day. Now, let's update it to today. Today is, it's my mom's birthday. It's also my official/unofficial work anniversary, which means I have hit 15 years. 15 years at this job. And I don't mean the job of reading the dictionary, my real job. It is, in North Korea, it is Kim Jong-il's birthday, but it is also called Day of the Shining Star. Oh, Kim Jong-il, you are such a shining star in our world. It is Restoration of Lithuania's Statehood Day. In Alaska, it is Elizabeth Peretrovich Day. In India, it is Guru Ravidas Jayanti. And I think it is time to look at the fun holidays. It is Do a Grouch a Favor Day. There is a picture of a painting of Oscar the Grouch. If somebody's being a grouch, do something nice, and then maybe they won't be such a grouch. It is Kyoto Protocol Day, National Almond Day. You can eat some marzipan. You can eat almonds, unflavored or salted or flavored. Have some almond milk in your drink or your cereal. Or do what other almond things are there? There's sparkling almond champagne drink that's tasty. National Innovation Day. Be innovative. Tim Tam Day. This is a chocolate thing. Tim Tam. And any other holidays that we missed? Makabusha. I don't know if I read that. I don't think so. Oh, this is the most important one. It is Punchki Day. It is spelled P-A-C-Z-K-I. And these are the tasty cream or fruit-filled pastries that come out once a year. They come out from their little holes, and then people eat them. Punchki Day. Yeah. It's actually a big holiday at my work. Every year they buy the people there's, I don't know, dozens of punchkis. Although now that people are just at home, I think people just have to go buy their own. All right. This has been an amazing episode. We finished page 278. Oh, Audrey, you're awake now. Would you like to join in the celebration of finishing page 278? No, she wants to go back to sleep. Okay, that's it. This has been Spencer Dispensing Information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome again to another episode of The Dictionary, the podcast where Spencer reads the dictionary and tells you what he thinks about the things that he's reading as it happens. real time, no editing. Here we go with the first word in this episode, corn salad. 2 words, noun from 1597, any of several herbs of the valerian family, especially a low European herb that is widely cultivated for its leaves, used in salads, and as a pot herb. Called also lamb's lettuce, or also mash or mache. I do not know how to say that. Lamb's lettuce, maybe the lambs eat it, and we eat it in salads. It's used as a pot herb. That word is spelled pot herb, but it looks like you would pronounce it potherb, because there's a TH in the middle. The genus name of this herb is Valerianella, because it is in the valerian family. Oh, and there's a couple of scientific names. Valerianella locusta and Valerianella olatoria. Such beautiful names. So this is called corn salad from its occurrence as a weed in fields of grain. So, but it's a lettuce that we eat, but it's also a weed, and it usually grows in fields of grain like corn. So it's the name is so funny to me because it's a description of where it's grown, but it's also a description of how it's used. But I feel like there could have it's a very specific and accurate name, kind of. Corn salad. You'd think that it would be a salad made of corn. It's not. Okay, what is our sound effect? I'm going to do something like some sort of goat sheep thing. Next word is corn silk. 2 words, noun from 1846. The silky styles on an ear of Indian corn. What are the silky styles? That sounds like a radio DJ. The vocal silky styles. I don't know. The Indian corn, specifically Indian corn. Why not other kinds of corn? Is that all the silk when you're husking the corn? All the silky stuff is called corn silk? It must be. Is there another name for it? I don't know. Hair. I think I always called it just like the corn hair. Okay, next word. Corn snow. Yeah, snow, corn snow. 2 words, noun from 1935. Granular snow formed by alternate thawing and freezing. Granular snow formed by... So the snow thaws and freezes, and then it becomes corn snow? Why is it called corn snow? Nobody's telling me why it's called corn snow. It's granular, so maybe it looks like corn kernels? I don't know if I've ever experienced corn snow. I've never heard of it. Maybe it's only in certain places. Next word. Cornstalk. 1 word, noun from 1645. A stalk of Indian corn. Is the corn that we're used to in America here, is that called Indian corn? I don't know my names of corn, so maybe that's Indian corn. Why can't a corn stalk be a stalk of some other kind of corn? An Indian corn, at first I thought India, the country, but no, this must be, the indigenous Americans, indigenous people who used to still live on this country, this landmass. They obviously used to be called Indians, but that's a word that we're trying to get away from. So that must be what that is. But why are we still calling it Indian corn? I don't know these things. Next word. Cornstarch. Apologies if this is a very irritating sound effect. Cornstarch. 1 word, noun from 1853. Starch made from corn and used in foods as a thickening agent in making corn syrup and sugars, and in the manufacture of adhesives and sizes for paper and textiles. Cornstarch gets used in a lot of things. Corn. Yeah, I guess I probably use this if I had to make something, but I don't really make a lot of foods, so I don't know if I ever have used it. But yes, thickening agent. If you need to make a thing thicker, like maybe a cake or some sort of baked good, something, you use cornstarch. I don't know where people use cornstarch. Maybe biscuits, something like that. I don't know. This whole podcast is just me saying, I don't know. I don't know these things. That's why I'm learning. Moving on to corn sugar. 2 words, noun from 1850. The synonym is dextrose. 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 Maybe it's sugar that comes from corn. Is made, processed corn, turn it into sugar. It's dextrose. Next word, corn syrup. 2 words. I suspect it is very similar to dextrose. Noun from 1903, a syrup containing dextrins, maltose, and dextrose that is obtained by partial hydrolysis of cornstarch. So you take the corn, and then you make the cornstarch, and then you partially hydrolysize this cornstarch, and you get corn syrup. And maybe there's corn sugar in there somewhere, because we did see that corn syrup contains dextrose, which is corn sugar. This stuff is in everything. I don't think we need it to be in everything. It's a filler. It's a filler that's unnecessary, and it's making people unhealthier. We don't need it. I don't think we need it. Try and find stuff that doesn't have corn syrup in it. High fructose, corn syrup, cornstarch, all that. It's not as necessary as we're making it seem like it is. Next word is cornu or cornu. cornu. Noun from 1691. A horn-shaped anatomical part, as of the uterus. That is the example. So yeah, I guess if you look at the uterus, it's anatomical. It's in the body, and the parts of it sort of look like horns, I guess. So it's a noun. So it's I guess would the uterus be a cornu or a cornu? Because it's a noun. Interesting. And then cornuole or cornuole, that is an adjective. Next word is cornucopia or cornucopia, if you want to get that little Y sound in there. Cornucopia. Noun from 1508. 1. A curved goat's horn overflowing with fruit and ears of grain that is used as a decorative motif emblematic of abundance. 2. An inexhaustible store. Synonym is abundance. We have a cornucopia of things. There is a cornucopia of COVID going around the world. We have an abundance of it. Too much, I would say. 3. A receptacle shaped like a horn or a cone. Horn or cone. Cornucopian is an adjective. And it's from the Latin, I guess this would be a phrase, cornucopiae, 2 words, cornu and then copiae, and that means horn of plenty. And we turned it into cornucopia. It's a thing shaped like a horn, either literally a goat's horn or like that wicker baskety kind of thing that's shaped like a horn, and it is filled with stuff. And you are so, you have an abundance of it. You are very lucky if you have an abundance of food. And of course, this is a very typical thing that we see or used to see in like Thanksgiving images. Yeah. Corn, and now you know why it's called a cornucopia, because corn is horn and copia is plenty, essentially. Plenty of horns all up in this place. Next word, speaking of goats' horns, it is cornuto or cornuto, cornuto, noun from 1598, and the synonym is cuckold, cuckold. And interesting. Assuming it is the word that I think it is, we will see that later. But if I look at the etymology, it's from the Latin cornutus, which means having horns. And so cuckold, having horns, there's probably a number of definitions for cuckold, but I am not sure of the other ones. We'll find out when we get there. Next is corn whiskey, 2 words, noun from 1780. If we look at, I think it was yesterday's episode, we had cornmeal. I believe cornmeal is used to possibly make corn whiskey. What does it say? It is whiskey distilled from a mash made up of not less than 80% corn. And it's as compared to the word bourbon, which is, I assume it's made of something different. Similar, but different. So this is whiskey distilled from a mash. A mash, it's mashed up grains, but it cannot be less than 80% corn. It can be more than 80% corn, but if it's less than 80% corn, you have to call it something else. Maybe you have to call it bourbon. Oh, bourbon, bourbon, bourbon. Next word. This is the end of the corn words. It is corny. corny. First form, adjective from the 14th century. Number 1 is archaic. Tasting strongly of malt. If it tastes very much like malt, it's very corny, because I think, does malt come from corn, or some kinds of malt can come from corn, possibly? Maybe back in the day. 2, of or relating to what? To corn. Corny. Corn. If you're grilling up and you got a plate of corn, your plate is very corny. My jokes are very corny. 3, mawkishly old-fashioned. And then there's more. Tiresomely simple and sentimental. So corny can mean mawkishly old-fashioned or tiresomely simple and sentimental. Those are 2 very interesting adverbs, mawkishly and tiresomely, as in told corny jokes. They are terrible and great. Cornily is an adverb, and corniness is a noun. Okay, next word. Second form of corny, adjective from 1689, relating to or having corns on the feet. Oh, your feet are so corny because they have corns. There's probably some sort of foot pun corn joke in there, and then the joke can also be very corny on multiple levels. Next word. It is corrody or corrody, corody, noun from the 15th century, an allowance of provisions for maintenance dispensed as a charity. An allowance of provisions for maintenance dispensed as a charity. So I guess if somebody is donating a lot of money, maybe a portion of it is allowed for maintenance, and that's called a corrody or a corrody. And the etymology does not help. I think I got it close, maybe. Next word. That was a bad one. It is Corolla or Corolla. It's like the car, the Corolla. Corolla. Noun from circa 1753. The part of a flower that consists of the separate or fused petals and constitutes the inner whorl of the perianth. I love reading these definitions that have to do with plants and flowers because there's always words that I am not familiar with, and they're great, great words. Whorl, perianth, correlate or correlate, that is an adjective. And it's basically from the Latin diminutive, or the Latin word corona, which that'll be in tomorrow's episode. Next word, are we getting more horsey? Nay, no. We'll stay goaty sheepy. It is corollary. Let's see, corollary. The British say corollary. Noun from the 14th century. 1. A proposition inferred immediately from a proved proposition with little or no additional proof. I would like an example for that. Number 2A, something that naturally follows, and the synonym is result. What is the result of your tests? What is the corollary? The correlation, that's probably related. 2B, something that incidentally or naturally accompanies or parallels. So something that comes next, naturally comes next in sequence, or is happening at the same time, concurrently. That's the parallel part. Corollary. I feel like, there's a word. Correlation. Correlation is something correlates to something else. They're connected. I don't know. I'm not really describing this very well. Corollary is also an adjective. This is from the Latin corollarium. That's money paid for a garland. That's what that means. Or also gratuity. So if you are paying somebody a tip at a restaurant, which you should be tipping your servers very well because they deserve it, and they don't get paid very well except for tips. We live in a weird system where this is happening. But I guess that would be a corollary or a corollarium, something like that. Next word. What was that? Coromandel. Coromandel or caramandel. Coromandel. Coromandel. You have to emphasize the man. Coromandel. Noun from 1843. And the synonym is calamander. And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that was also just salamander, wasn't it? I mean, it's like so close to salamander that I feel like it actually was salamander. I'm quickly trying to go back. I'm getting close to where this word would be. We're gonna find it. Boop, 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 boop. Calamander. It is no. It is not. It is wood. It's like a tree. Interesting. So that was coromandel, is also calamander, which is a tree, and the etymology says it is from Coromandel, which is a coast region in India. So there's a region in India along the water. It's a coastal region, and maybe that's where these calamander trees are. Last word, coromandel screen. 2 words, noun from 1926, and the C is often capitalized. This is a Chinese lacquered folding screen. And maybe the material is made from these calamander trees, possibly. Maybe. Okay, so the words in this episode were corn salad, corn silk, corn snow, corn stalk, corn starch, corn sugar, corn syrup, cornu, cornucopia, cornuto, corn whiskey, corny, corrady, corolla, corollary, coromandel screen. I think I'm going to pick corn syrup as the word of the episode because this is the stuff that we've been complaining about this for a while, a lot of us, and I I think it's a really good idea, as I said before, to try to avoid too much corn syrup. Maybe a little bit is fine, but it's just this. It's often the first ingredient in so many foods, and we allow this to happen, and we just don't need it. It is so unnecessary and so not good for us to be ingesting so much of this stuff, I believe. And scientifically, if you look at people who eat a lot of this stuff, they might not be very healthy. So I just want people to be healthy and happy and not be paying a bunch of money for medical bills that they don't need to be spending. A lot of this is avoidable. That is my opinions for the day. So the holidays, it is Independence Day in Kosovo. What is it? It celebrates the Independence Declaration of Kosovo in 2008, and this is still partially recognized. Why is it not fully recognized? And where were they becoming independent from? Libya has Revolution Day. Let's go check this page. I like this very much. It is Random Acts of Kindness Day. I do think that we should be doing this every day, but maybe today especially, we can have lots and lots of random acts of kindness. What can you do? Think of there's so many things that you can do. Do something to help somebody, and then do it again tomorrow. In Belgium, it is commemoration of all the defunct members of the royal family. It's an interesting one. The fun holidays, it is Champion Crab Races Day, My Way Day, National Cabbage Day, National Café au lait Day, National Indian Pudding Day. That is observed 3 times in the year: November 13th, February 17th, and June 27th. Why do we need it 3 times a year? National PTA Founders Day, National Public Science Day, Who Shall I Be Day. Maybe you can be somebody else today. World Human Spirit Day. That sounds interesting. Anything else? Nope. All right. What a great place to end this episode. The same place that I end them every single time. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to another episode of the Dictionary. I am Spencer, and I am reading this book. Oh, am I going to say this every time? No, I don't think I need to. You know what it is. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Well, let's just read the words. The first word in this episode is corona. Corona. So many, we've heard this word so much in the last, I don't know, by the time you're hearing this, it's been almost 2 years. Actually, it's been over 2 years, technically. Okay. Noun from 1548. This word, it means lots of things. There's many definitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's at least 8. Okay, so noun from 1548. I think I already said that. 1. The projecting part of a classic cornice. The part that sticks out is the corona. 2a. A usually colored circle, often seen around and close to a luminous body, caused by diffraction produced by suspended droplets or, occasionally, particles of dust. And the example of the luminous body could be the sun or the moon. So, when you look at the sun or the moon, you might see a circle around it that would be called the corona. And it is, it's caused by the diffraction of the light hits these particles, droplets of water or dust. The light hits these particles that are in the air, and it, because of the way that science works, it creates this additional circle around the luminous body, the sun or the moon. That's the corona. 2b, the tenuous outermost part of the atmosphere of a star. And the example of a star would be our sun. Yeah, it's so much closer than all the other stars that we're able to see more of a corona around it. 2C, a circle of light made by the apparent convergence of the streamers of the aurora borealis. Let's read it again. A circle of light made by the apparent convergence of the streamers. So when the streamers of light in the aurora borealis converge, it seems like they create a circle of light. Maybe I'll find a picture of that. I should probably find a picture of the 2A definition, just the light around the sun or the moon. 2D, the upper portion of a bodily part. And the example of that bodily part would be a tooth or a skull. The top of it, the upper portion. The top of my skull is the corona. The top of your tooth is also the corona. 2E, an appendage or series of united appendages on the inner side of the corolla in some flowers, as in the examples the daffodil, jonquil, or milkweed. 2F, a faint glow adjacent to the surface of an electrical conductor at high voltage. Faint glow next to the surface of an electrical conductor. When an electrical conductor is at high voltage, you might see a faint glow in that area. 3. This is something different. It is a long cigar having the sides straight to the end to be lit and being roundly blunt on the other end. So let's see, a long cigar, straight sides. On one end it's flat, I think, and the other end it's round. And this is from the trademark La Corona. It's not the drink, it's not the beer, it is the cigar. And maybe the people like to have the beer and the cigar together. All right. The etymology says it is a Latin word, corona. They'd probably say corona. I don't know. That means garland or crown or cornice. And there's more at the word crown. It's basically the top of the thing or a circle around a thing. Yeah. Okay, first time that we're coming up to a sound effect in this episode. I'm just going to do a chicken, I think. Bark, 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 bark. Next word is corona australis. The 2 words, capital C, capital A. Corona australis. Noun from 1594. And it is a southern constellation adjoining Sagittarius on the south. Okay, so it's in the southern hemisphere, and it connects to the Sagittarius constellation. And it's let's see, what is it? It means Southern Cross. So no, Southern Crown. I said Southern Cross because I know that there's a Southern Cross constellation, but no, it is Southern Crown. So is it just a circle of stars? I don't know what this one looks like. Next word. Bark, 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 bark. It is Corona Borealis. Again, 2 words, capital C, capital B, and Borealis is spelled Borealis. It's like Aurora Borealis, but it's Corona Borealis. Noun from 1615. It is a northern constellation between Hercules and Boötes. And this one means northern crown. So Australis is southern and Borealis is northern. So again, is it just like a circle of stars? I just don't know. Next word. Bark, 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 bark. It is Coronach. Coronach. How do you say this word? I think it's Coronach. Coronach. Noun from 1530. This is a funeral dirge sung or played on the bagpipes in Scotland and Ireland. Another pronunciation would be Coronach. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it great. It is from the Scottish Gaelic word, probably pronounced the same, spelled Corranach, and the Irish word Coranach. Corranach. Maybe I should find a little audio clip of this Corranach, and we'll put it in here somewhere so we can hear what it sounds like. Next word. Coronograph. Coronograph. Let's see. You can spell it corona with an A or corono with an O. Noun from 1885. A telescope for observation of the sun's corona. It is only for looking at the sun's corona. You can't use it for anything else. But really? You can't use it for something else? Why? Next word. It is coronal or coronel. It is the first form. You can spell it N-A-L at the end or N-E-L. Noun from the 14th century. A circlet for the head, usually implying rank or dignity. And it's from the Latin coronalis, which means of a crown. So it's like a crown. It's similar to a crown. It is a crown. Maybe it's a circlet on the head, which is basically a crown. But maybe it's just a little one, not like a big crown like we think of. Who wears these? Who wears these? Next word. Burk. Second form of coronal. Coronal. You could say it that way. Coronal. Adjective from the 14th century. 1a, line in the direction of the coronal suture, or the coronal suture, which is actually our next word. But first we have to say 1b, of or relating to the frontal plane that passes through the long axis of the body. The frontal plane so is the long axis of the body if it basically goes from your head to your feet. That's what I would think would be the long axis. And then of or relating to the frontal plane that passes through the long axis. What direction is this frontal plane going? Is it from your right side to your left side, or from your front to your back, through the center? Who knows? Who knows these things? Next word. Book. That's a different kind of chicken. This is coronal suture, 2 words, noun from 1615. A suture extending across the skull between the parietal and frontal bones. So I remember talking about one of these before, and I don't remember what word it was for, but I believe it's so in your brain you got these different plates, and they connect. And there's the parietal bone and the frontal bone, and one of those connections, I guess, is the coronal suture. I wonder if it's the one in the center. Might be the one in the center, because I think there's 3. Next word. Corona radiata or radiata. How do you say this one? I think either one of those is fine. Corona radiata or radiata, 2 words, noun from 1892, the zone of small follicular cells immediately surrounding the ovum in the Graafian follicle and accompanying the ovum on its discharge from the follicle. Okay, there was a lot. I don't know what we're talking about here. The ovum, I feel like that would be the egg. The zone of small follicular cells immediately surrounding the ovum. And what's the Graafian follicle? G-R-A-A. There's 2 A's. Graphian or Graphian follicle. And a follicle, I think of hair follicles, but maybe these are little hairs. I'm not sure. We need more context from this corona radiata. This literally means crown with rays. So it's probably, there's rays, things sticking out, I'm guessing, like the hair follicles, kind of. We're learning lots of things. Maybe I'll post a link in the show notes if you want to learn more about the corona radiata, because I'm still a bit confused. Next word. It is coronary. Coronary. First form, adjective from 1610. 1. Of, relating to, resembling, or being a crown or coronal. Coronal. And that one was various things relating to the coronal suture, the frontal plane, or the axis. By the way, for coronal, the second form, I think I got so caught up in the frontal plane, long axis of the body, I forgot to say number 2 for the second form of coronal or coronal. It is of or relating to a corona or crown. Okay, good on that? Do we need to re-edit this? No, you're smart enough to figure this out. So now we are going to jump back to coronary, and this one is similar. I'm just going to reread it because I already did. Of, relating to, resembling, or being a crown or coronal, which is all those things. 2, I won't forget it this time. Of, relating to, or being the coronary arteries or veins of the heart. And then broadly, of or relating to the heart. To the heart. Next word. Second form of coronary, noun from 1893. Number 1, the synonym is coronary artery. 1B, the synonym is coronary vein. Number 2, the synonym is coronary thrombosis. And then broadly, the synonym heart attack. And we're going to see all of these in the next 4 or 5 or 6 words, but some of them are going to be in tomorrow's episode. Speaking of, the first of those, coronary artery, 2 words. I think this is a very, very large chicken. Noun from 1741, either of 2 arteries that arise, one from the left and one from the right side of the aorta, immediately above the semilunar valves, and supply the tissues of the heart itself. So this is the artery. I guess it's a big artery, an important artery that comes out of the heart and then basically goes back to the heart. It gives the heart blood. It's very meta. The blood goes out of the heart and goes back to the heart. Important coronary artery. Next word. Bok. I don't know if you've seen Arrested Development, but there's this whole thing about chickens and how each of the characters do their own different kind of chicken sound and chicken dance. And I wish I remembered them all, but it's one of the funniest things when they're all doing their chicken things. It's just so weird. Okay, coronary heart disease. That's next. I hope that's not next for any of us. 3 words, noun from 1949. A condition, and especially one caused by atherosclerosis that reduces blood flow through the coronary arteries to the heart and typically results in chest pain or heart damage. And this is called also coronary artery disease. Let's try to exercise and eat healthy so we can avoid things like this. All right, our last word. It is coronary occlusion. 2 words. Coronary, we know how to spell that. Occlusion. OCCLUSION. Noun from 1940. The partial or complete blocking of a coronary artery, You definitely do not want this to happen. None of your arteries should be blocked completely or partially, but if it happens, it's called a coronary occlusion. By the way, the examples of things that could block it, or maybe reasons why it's blocked, they would be thrombus, a spasm, or sclerosis. So those are culprits. All right, so the words in this episode were corona, corona australis, corona borealis, coronach, that's the music, the song, coronograph, coronal suture, corona radiata, coronary, coronary artery, coronary heart disease, and coronary occlusion. Let's see. Though, I think maybe I shall pick corona artery as the word of the episode because it is a very important artery. I mean, they're all very important, but that one is particularly important because everything needs blood. The blood carries all of the important things, the hormones and the oxygens and all those things, and so you need to get the blood to all the stuff, particularly the heart itself. Coronary artery, you giving the heart the blood it needs. Let's read the holidays. What is today? The 18th of the February. In France, it is Bernadette Soubirous. Soubirous? I don't know this word. Is this a person's name? Bernadette Soubirous? Soubirous. The next three don't say where they are. Colman of Lindisfarne, Flavian of Constantinople, Geltrude Comensoli. Are these people's names? I have no idea. In Western Christianity, it is Simeon of Jerusalem. In the Amami Islands of Japan, it is Dialect Day. It is Independence Day for Gambia, which is from the UK in 1965. In Iraqi Kurdistan, it is Kurdish Students' Union Day. In Nepal, it is National Democracy Day, which celebrates the 1951 overthrow of the Rana dynasty. In Iceland, it is Wife's Day. Celebrate the wives, and they call it Konudagur. Konudagur, something like that. Konudagur. Oh, it's National Drink Wine Day. So you have to drink wine at some point today. Another holiday that you can somehow celebrate, maybe not, is Cow Milked While Flying in an Airplane Day, also known as Elm Farm Ali Day. And I don't understand what any of this means. A cow milked while flying in an airplane. So what now? Why? And why is it a day? It's Crab Stuffed Flounder Day. It's National Battery Day. The things that give the things the power. National Caregivers Day. If you require a caregiver in any way, please give them extra love and respect today. Maybe you can give them some wine if they want some wine, because it's also National Drink Wine Day, like I said, and I'm saying it again. National Women's Heart Day. Appropriate that, I read all those heart-related words. It is Pluto Day. I think today was the day that Pluto was discovered. Thumb Appreciation Day. All of you gamers very much appreciate your thumbs. And that's it. That is all that we have for today. I appreciate you. You are my caregivers, I guess. I don't know. Enjoy the day. And all the other days, if you can. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Thank you for turning on this podcast and giving it a go and seeing what it's all about. It's all about some stuff, and we're going to talk about that stuff right now. Okay, so the first word in this episode is coronary sinus. Coronary. Second word, sinus. Noun from 1831. A venous channel that is derived from the sinus venosus is continuous with the largest of the cardiac veins. I wanted to add a syllable there. Cardiac veins. Receives most of the blood from the walls of the heart and empties into the right atrium. Let's see. The vein. So I think the arteries are the ones that are the heart pumps to. Are the veins then what's going back to the heart? Why can I not remember the differences of these? Let's see. A venous channel that is derived from the sinus venosus is continuous with the largest of the cardiac veins. It receives most of the blood. I think this is similar to, I don't know. I don't know what a sinus is. What is a sinus? You have sinuses behind your nose, in your face. You got other sinuses. Is it just a cavity? A space? I don't know. But obviously it has something to do with the heart. Empties into the right atrium. Is the right atrium of the heart itself, like, if you're looking forward, is it on your right side, or is it when somebody else is looking at the heart, it's the heart's right side? That's different. I don't know which it is. Okay, we have to do a sound effect, and then we're going to move on to a new word. The sound effect is going to be or, like a seal, maybe, kinda. Trying to think of other animals. I might stop after the seal. I don't know. Okay, next word is coronary thrombosis. 2 words, noun from 1912, the blocking of a coronary artery of the heart by a thrombus. What is a thrombus? I don't know. We're going to find out later. But if we look at the last word of the last episode, we had coronary occlusion. That is the stopping, the partial or complete blocking of the coronary artery, and one of the examples of the thing that could be blocking it is a thrombus. So when that happens, the coronary occlusion would be called a coronary thrombosis. Thrombosis. That would be a good word to figure out backwards. Okay, next word. It is coronary vein. 2 words, noun from 1686. Any of several veins that drain the tissues of the heart and empty into the coronary sinus. Oh, look, it's a callback to the first word. So yeah, there's something going on there with the veins and the sinuses and the coronaries and the hearts. Next word, It is coronate or coronate. This is a verb, a transitive verb from circa 1623, and it is the 1A definition for the word crown. It's probably just the thing that you put on the top of your head, a coronate, but it's the verb, so it's the crowning. It's the act of probably putting a crown on somebody. This is related to our next word, making them royalty, king, queen, because that means so much, right? Okay, next word. It is coronation. Noun from the 14th century. The act or occasion of crowning. Also, accession to the highest office. When you have gotten to the highest office, you're having a coronation, but then there's a whole big occasion around it where you have to make it official. You got to put the crown on the head and make it official and have a coronation ceremony, and then a big party probably. Next word, hey. Yeah, this is in there because this is a thing that's been around for a while. Coronavirus. Noun, it's all one word, as we now know. Noun from 1968. 1968. We've known about these things for a while, so it's not like it's this crazy new thing that came out from nowhere. Any of a family of single-stranded RNA viruses that have a lipid envelope or envelope studded with club-shaped projections. They infect birds and many mammals, including humans, and include the causative agent of SARS, all caps SARS, S-A-R-S. And the family name is Coronaviridae, something like that, and especially the genus Coronavirus. I mean, what can I say about this? It describes what it is, and back when this book was made, this was not a thing that had reached all the humans, or if it had been contained. I don't know if it had ever reached humans, but it does say that it technically can reach humans. And, there was no mRNA vaccines available when this book was written, so there's nothing about that. I don't know if they would have put it in there anyway. But after the last couple of years, I wonder if this definition is going to change. I should go look that up. Okay. We've had enough talk about coronavirus for 2 years, and we will have more. Let's move on to coroner. C-O-R-O-N-E-R. Coroner or coroner. Depending on probably where you live, you say it a little bit different. This is a noun from the 15th century. A usually elected public officer whose principal duty is to inquire by an inquest into the cause of any death which there is a reason to suppose it not due to natural causes. And it says compared to medical examiner. Maybe that is probably not the same, but they deal with similar stuff. So the coroner, let's see, they've elected public officer. Basically, they're like, no, I think you, maybe the medical examiner, you need to go look into this death because I am not so sure that there were natural causes. I think there might be foul play afoot, and I would like you to look into that and figure it out. I never fully understood it, I guess, at the time when I was a kid, but in The Wizard of Oz, when the Munchkins are singing, they bring out the coroner. The Munchkins, they have a great democratic system where they vote people into office. There's the mayor and there's the coroner, so they voted a coroner into office to look into the death of anybody really. I wonder what sort of other deaths are happening with the Munchkins, but particularly the death of the Wicked Witch. I think she was of the East. She got flattened by a house. And so then the coroner, he pulls out a scroll, I think, and sings a song about how she something. I don't remember the words. The coroner, yeah. This is a Middle English word, and it is an officer of the crown. So probably back in the day, in the 15th century, the crown, the person who had the crown, the king, the queen, whoever, they probably were the ones who elected the coroner. But what's with the name? They were elected by the crown, so that's where that comes from. But their principal duty was to look into deaths. How is that related to death? It's a funny name. It doesn't make it makes sense because of how they got into that job, but it doesn't make sense as what the job is. Let's talk about the next word. Coronet or coronet. And this is the word that I thought it was where were we? Cornet was like 4 episodes ago, like the trumpety thing. I thought it was coronet. I thought, but I was wrong. This one has an O in the middle. It is a noun from the 15th century. 1. A small or lesser crown, usually signifying a rank below that of a sovereign. And we had another one of those similar words, a small little crown. I don't remember which one that was. It's fine. It's not coronet, it's something else. And then number 2, a wreath or band for the head, usually for wear by women on formal occasions. I think most people would call that a tiara, possibly. But I don't know, maybe not. A tiara, that's something different. It's not a wreath or a band. Yeah. I've never heard a woman say, "Look at my coronet." I don't know if people actually call it that anymore. 3. The lower part of a horse's pastern where the horn terminates in skin. And then it says to see the horse illustration. What is the pastern? It's, let's see, where the horn but the horses, they don't have horns. Is this their stripe of hair on their neck? Is it related to that? It seems like the coronet would be on their head somewhere. Maybe I'll have to find a picture of this horse's coronet because I'm still confused. Okay, next word. Or. It is co-rotate. So it's the word rotate with co at the beginning. Co-rotate. It's an intransitive verb from 1962 to rotate in conjunction with or at the same rate as another rotating body. And co-rotation is a noun. Let's see. I mean, it could be so many things rotate. It could be planets in the sky. They co-rotate, although I'm not sure if you would ever describe it that way. The first thing I thought of was in movies and TV shows, you see two people, if they need to unlock a safe or start a self-destruct sequence or something like that, you need two people to turn the key at the same time. And so those keys would be co-rotating. They rotate together. Same rate, same time. Next word. Or. It is an abbreviation, corp, C-O-R-P, although it could, corp. For number 1, corporal, and number 2, corporation. Next word. Or. It is corpora, and this is the plural of corpus, C-O-R-P-U-S. Next word. It's like a dog seal. I don't know what's going on. It is the word corporal, C-O-R-P-O-R-A-L, first form, noun from the 14th century. A linen cloth on which the Eucharistic elements are placed. Are those the wine and the little crackers? Maybe on that table there, they put the linen cloth down, and it's called the corporal. Why is it called the corporal? Let's find out. Let's read. It's the Latin neutral of corporalis, which is from the doctrine that the bread of the Eucharist becomes or represents the body of Christ. Yes, the corporal, I think that, yes, it's related to the body, the corpus. I don't remember specifically, but yeah, Latin word for body, I think. Maybe this next word will give us more information. Or. It's corporal, again, second form, adjective from the 14th century. Number 1 is obsolete. The synonyms are corporeal and physical. Number 2, of, relating to, or affecting the body, as in corporal punishment. What would be the opposite of corporal punishment? Is there like mental punishment? What would that be called? Maybe I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. Mental, it's probably not mental punishment. There's got to be some fancier name for that. But any punishment that is to the body, I hope nobody ever has to experience that, but that would be called corporal punishment. Corporally is an adverb, and the etymology says it is from Latin corpus, which means body. And there is more at the word midriff. I mean, the midriff of the body is part of the body. But why there's more information at that word specifically just boggles my brain. Okay, next word. Or. It is the third form of corporal, noun from 1579. a non-commissioned officer ranking in the Army above a private first class and below a sergeant, and in the Marine Corps above a lance corporal and below a sergeant. So in the Army, a corporal is above the private first class and below a sergeant, but if the corporal is in the Marine Corps, then they are above a lance corporal and below a sergeant. And none of that makes any sense to me, because depending on the situation, they all mean different things, or in maybe different orders, or have been mixed up or something. It's confusing. I don't know what non-commissioned means, because I'm not in the military world, so I'm not sure what does it mean to be commissioned or non-commissioned? This is a Middle French word, and it means lowest non-commissioned officer. It's an alternative of caporal, so that's spelled Caporal. That is from Old Italian caporale, which is from capo, Capo, which means head. That is from the Latin word caput, and there's more at the word head. So this word, corporal, seems to have nothing to do with the body, the etymological form of that word, body, but it came from the word head. But they're not the head of anything, are they? I mean, maybe they are. Very interesting. Next word. Corporality. Corporality, noun from the 14th century, the quality or state of being or having a body or a material or physical existence. The state of having a body or material or physical existence. So anything that has some sort of physical existence has corporality. All of us have corporality. All right, last word, corporal's guard. Corporal with an apostrophe S, and then the word guard, noun from 1832. 1. The small detachment commanded by a corporal. And number 2, a small group. Just any small group can be called a corporal's guard. So the words in this episode were coronary sinus, coronary thrombosis, coronary vein, coronate, coronation, coronavirus, coroner, coronet, co-rotate, corp, corpora, corporal, corporality, and corporal's guard. Well, I think I am going to have to pick coronavirus as the word of the episode. Because, for obvious reasons, but also because, there wasn't anything else that really jumped out at me as one that I felt the most strongly about. Song time about coronavirus. I think the funny thing is, I think that there are many, many songs that have been made, original songs and parody songs over the last couple of years, and I don't know any of them. People have made many songs about the coronavirus, I think. Coronavirus, please get your vaccination. Also, don't forget to mask up when you go outside of your house, because the coronavirus is still out there. Let's read the holidays for today. In Mexico, it is Armed Forces Day. In Romania, it is Brancusi Day. In Bulgaria, it is commemoration of Vasil Levski. In Turkmenistan, it is Flag Day. In Maharashtra, India, it is Shivaji Jayanti. And this page says, also in Mexico, it is National Soldier Day. Fun holidays, it is International Tug of War Day. So all over the world, people are playing tug of war. It's also Iwo Jima Day. There's that famous sculpture statue in D.C. of the soldiers putting the flag in Iwo Jima. I feel like I need to know more about that. It's also National Chocolate Mint Day. And A lot of people don't like mint. I think during the holidays it's fun if you get a hot chocolate. Maybe throw a little mint in there. It's fun and fancy. It's great. National Lash Day, like your eyelashes. National Vet Girls Rise Day, and Rise is all caps, so it probably stands for something. But yeah, I think it's about women who are veterans of the military. I think. Prevent Plagiarism Day. What can you do to stop somebody from plagiarizing? World Pangolin Day. I think there was a lot of talk of the coronavirus possibly came from the pangolin, possibly a bat. I don't know if they have proof of either one, but it's leaning towards pretty strongly, I think, one or the other. Pangolins are amazing and cute, and we need to stop people from killing them and eating them and trading them for their skins and their scales, and they're really amazing creatures, so go learn about pangolins. It's also World Whale Day. Whales are great. Also, let's stop destroying the whales because we're messing up our ecosystems all over the place, and I don't like it. Those are all the holidays. Thank you very much for listening to me talk to you and making stupid sounds. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Hey, how are you? How is it going? What is up with you? That's great to hear. Can you go please share this? Go do that. Share it. Subscribe to this show. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. There are links in the show notes if you want to go do that. I post weird videos. And please rate and review this show. Write a quick little thing, because the gremlins in the computers, they love to see those pop in, so then they can send out the show to more people. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at dictionarypod, and email is dictionarypod@gmail.com. If you want to say anything, tag me on anything, those are the places to do that. You can call the Google Voice number. You can join the Patreon. All of those links are in the show notes. And that is all I have to say for that. Okay, the first word is corporate. corporate. Adjective from 1512. 1A, formed into an association and endowed by law with the rights and liabilities of an individual. And the synonym is incorporated. You know, we're going to see a bunch of corporate-related words here, probably more than half of the episode. And, you know, so some of these, it may help to have heard one of them before another to fully understand the context. But, of course, we have to go through them in alphabetical order. But, yeah, I think, you know, this is related to corporation. So it's corporate. This is the adjective. And, you know, that definition was a little confusing. Formed into an association and endowed by law with the rights and liabilities of an individual. So yes, a lot of older people know this, but probably a lot of younger people don't. A corporation is, in the eyes of the law, they are basically a person. They are their own person, which is odd, but it's a whole weird thing. I don't know. They've been incorporated, turned into a person, and I wonder, I think, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I think that this word, corporate, corporation, all those, they are coming from the word that we read in the last episode. We saw a bunch of these words. Corpus, the word that means body. So it is a body of things. It's a body of, it's an association, but in a weird sense, it's kind of like a person's body in the eyes of the law, at least. It's a very crazy, crazy stuff. Okay, 1B for corporate, of or relating to a corporation, as in a plan to reorganize the corporate structure. 1C, of relating to or being the large corporations of a country or region considered as a unit, as in the latest trend in corporate America. All of the corporations in America are part of corporate America. 1D, having qualities, and then it gives some examples of that, associated with large corporations or attributed to their influence or control. So having qualities associated with corporations, connected to their influence or control. And the examples of these qualities are commercialism or lack of originality. Wow, I couldn't have said it better myself. Yes, those are qualities: commercialism, capitalism, selling things, merchandising, or lack of originality, just sticking with the same thing over and over again, not changing it, not having fun with it. Yes, those are all related and associated with large corporations. And we have examples: corporate rock music and also corporate art. What are those? They're just there to sell it, and just there, and they also are not, there's no originality, there's no creativeness. We need regular rock music and regular art. We have a lot of those, but we also have corporate rock music and art. 2, of relating to or formed into a unified body of individuals, as in human law arises by the corporate action of a people. And that is a quote from G.H. Sabine, Sabine. Yeah, that one's a little confusing to me. Number 3, it is the number 2 definition for the word corporative, which is later in this episode. Corporately is an adverb. So, yes, let's look at the etymology. It is from the Latin verb corporare, which means to make into a body. So a corporation, something that's corporate, has been turned into a body, a person in the law, a collection of things. And so that's why it's called that. Okay, now it's time to do a sound effects. I think I'm just... a sound effects? Something. That was weird. I am going to do... whee. Next word is corporate-wide. 2 words with a hyphen. Adjective from 1974. Extending throughout or involving an entire corporation. Maybe a rule has changed corporate-wide. Something is all over the corporation. Next word. Wee. It is corporation. Noun from the 15th century. 1a. A group of merchants or traders united in a trade guild. They have combined themselves into this trade guild body, so they are a corporation. 1b. The municipal authorities of a town or city. 2. A body, a body formed and authorized by law to act as a single person, although constituted by one or more persons and legally endowed with various rights and duties, including the capacity of succession. Yeah, that was I think I may have to read that long definition again, but yes, that's the main definition that we think of when we think of a corporation. A body formed and authorized by law to act as a single person. The whole corporation, in the eyes of the law, is one person, a big, strong, rich person. Although it's constituted by one or more persons, so that there's many people who run it, and legally endowed with various rights and duties, including the capacity of succession. Oh man, I need to watch that movie or show Succession. My parents were just talking about it. Everybody's been talking about it. Sounds interesting. So yes, just like in a what's the word I'm looking for? In a regal society where you got a king and a queen, there's succession there. A corporation can also have that. Yeah. Okay, number 3, an association of employers and employees in a basic industry or of members of a profession organized as an organ of political representation in a corporative state. And number 4, this is fun. It's the number 1 definition for the word potbelly. I am really curious now about what the connection is there. I mean, I have thoughts in my own brain, but I'm not sure if they're right. Next word, it is corporatism. Corporatism. Noun from 1890, the organization of a society into industrial and professional corporations serving as organs of political representation and exercising control over persons and activities within their jurisdiction. So it's basically the corporatism is, how do I describe this? It's the thing that happens when corporations are made. There is corporatism, and then the definition just describes all that. I think that's very related. Corporatist is an adjective. Next word, it is corporative or corporative. Adjective from 1833, 1, of or relating to a corporation. And I believe that the first word, corporate, was basically the same thing. So I think they're kind of two ways to say the same thing, although I believe corporate is actually much older. The first word, corporate, is from 1512. Corporative or corporative, that is from the 1800s. So I wonder, I wonder if they're different. But number 2 for corporative is of or relating to corporatism, which was our last word, the previous one. As in, a corporative state or corporative state. Next word, it's related again. Corporativism. Nope. Corporativism. Corporativism. Or just corporativism. There's like too many syllables. Corporativism. Noun from 1930. Try putting this word into a sentence. The synonym is just corporatism. That was the one from a couple words ago. Next word. Corporatize. Corporatize. Verb from 1974. To subject to corporate ownership or control, as in, afraid that medicine was becoming corporatized. And I think a lot of people have that fear for good reasons. And I think in a lot of places it is being corporatized. The prison system is also being privatized and corporatized. It's all about money. It's all becoming about money, and it shouldn't be about money. It should be about actual human and natural things. This is what I think. Medicine, people just need help. They need to be fixed. They want to be healed, and this money shouldn't come into this at all. Okay, corporatization, that is the noun for corporatize. Next word, corporator. Corporator, noun from 1784, a corporation, organizer, member, or stockholder. Okay, enough of those corporate words. Next word is... No, that's not the word, that's the sound effect. It is corporeal. Adjective from the 15th century. 1. Having, consisting of, or relating to a physical, material body. And let's see, in the last episode we had corporality, which is related, also just corporeal or corporal. So yes, where are we? Corporeal. So that definition, having, consisting of, or relating to a physical, material body as 1A, not spiritual. So anything not spiritual would be corporeal, because it's the difference between the more mental, metaphysical, not physical, that's the way to say it. There's got to be spiritual, that's the other word. That related to corporeal, which is all about the physical body, the physicalness here on this physical plane on Earth and the space. Is there a spiritual? We don't even know, technically, if there is a spiritual world. We only know the corporeal world. A lot of us think there is a spiritual world, but we have no proof because it has not come into the corporeal world. It's not allowed to come to the corporeal world because by definition, it is in the spiritual world. Maybe one day we'll get to learn about that when we die. 1B, not immaterial or intangible. So it's like there's a weird double negative thing going on there. Immaterial is something that is not material. So it's not immaterial. Same with the word intangible. Intangible is not tangible. So it's not intangible. And then there's a synonym, substantial. Number 2 is archaic. It's just the synonym corporal. There is another synonym for everything, which is the word material. Corporeality. No, what is this word? Corporeally is an adverb, and corporealness. Corporealness is a noun. And, of course, this is from the Latin corporeus, which is of the body, and that is good for that. Next word, wee. Corporeality. I like that the word reality is in there. I wonder if that's on purpose. Corporeality. Noun from 1651. It is corporeal existence. Corporeal existence. So everything that exists in this corporeal world has corporeality. This breaks my brain. Why do we have so many words that talk about the same thing? Okay, next word. Wee. Corporeity. Corporeity or corporeity. 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 Noun from 1610. The quality or state of having or being a body. And the synonym is materiality. Next word, wee. It is corpusant or corpusant with an S or Z sound, corpusant, and that's how it's spelled. With an S, I mean. Noun from circa 1595. The synonym is St. Elmo's fire. St. Elmo's fire is corpusant. This is from the Portuguese corpo santo, which literally means holy body. Holy body, corpusant, St. Elmo's fire, and I've heard of that, and I don't know what it is. Wee. Next word is cor, but it is spelled corps. It's a core, but the plural is spelled the same way, corps, but it would be pronounced cores. So how do you know if you're reading it, if it's singular or plural? Context. Okay, noun from 1707, 1A, an organized subdivision of the military establishment, as in Marine Corps and also Signal Corps. And I know this word confuses a lot of people because there's 2 letters at the end that are silent. Why would they do that? corps, you do not pronounce the P or the S, unless it's plural, and then you pronounce the S. 1B, a tactical unit usually consisting of 2 or more divisions and auxiliary arms and services. Number 2, and I have to do a page flip, a group of persons associated together or acting under common direction, especially a body of persons having a common activity or occupation, as in the press corps. And then number 3, the synonym is corps de ballet. And that is actually going to be the first word in tomorrow's episode. Corps de ballet. 3 words. Corps, and then DE, and then the word ballet. Okay. My parents and their friends in our town, they, back in, actually, some of them were in high school when they started this. They started a group called, because they were a very silly group, they called it the Fabulous All-American Marching Drumbin Bugle, and my lips did not work. I will re-say that. They were called the Fabulous All-America, I don't think it was All-American, I think it was All-America Marching Drum and Bugle Corps. So they actually spelled it as the word corpse, C-O-R-P-S-E, because they were having fun with the word corps, and because it's so close to corpse, and they were being funny. I think they also spelled America with a K. And basically, for the 4th of July parade every year, they would get together and do some sort of satirical thing, making fun of something going on in the world, politics, whatever it was. And a lot of people did not like them, but a lot of people did like them. And now they've basically stopped because everybody's old. Okay, so the words in this episode were corporate, corporate-wide, corporation, corporatism, corporative, corporativism, that's a hard word to say, corporatize, corporator, corporeal, corporeality, what is this word? Corporeity. I keep on having trouble with that one. Corpusant and core. I'm not entirely sure if I want to go with the route of something that I'm not liking, although I feel like since I'm in this section I have to. Corporation, or any of those words. Corporate, maybe corporate would be a better, more generic word. I guess I'll pick that as the word of the episode. I mean, I've obviously already talked about this, but do I have to talk about it more? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I have such a hard time with this whole capitalism, corporate world that is just, oh man, I don't know. I am not smart enough to have the words to say, but I think I've talked about it enough. Okay, so song about corporate. Corporate, it's a body, it's a corporeal group of people and organizations and associations that are like a person in the eyes of the law. It's a corporation that is very corporate. All right, I think we can just stop there. All right, let's talk about the holidays instead. In the Ukraine, it is Day of Heavenly 100 Heroes. It is World Day of Social Justice. And social justice is very important to me and a lot of people. And I have this tiny little platform here where I can say stuff mostly just to myself, to talk about that. And I need to do more, and I think a lot of us need to do more for social justice. And it's social justice in all different areas. I don't think you can pick which social thing you want to bring justice to. I think you just need to bring it all, right? Let's bring all the social justice. It's also National Love Your Pet Day. Only today can you love your pet. That's in the US, Australia, Canada, the UK, maybe other places. What are some fun holidays? Clean out your bookcase day. If you are buying so many books and you don't have space for them, you need to do some cleaning and purging and maybe get rid of some books that you don't want anymore. But that's hard to do. If you love books so much, you don't want to get rid of your books. You need to just add a new wing, a new room, and make more library space. It is National Cherry Pie Day. Oh, it's so good. National Comfy Day. Ooh, I can get comfy in the bed and eat some cherry pie with my pets and a book. It is also National Day of Solidarity with Muslim, Arab, and South Asian immigrants. And I think that is very good. Hopefully, who knows what the situation would be, but hopefully they're not wearing handcuffs because it's also National Handcuff Day. That's odd. Why do we want to, people like to celebrate handcuffs. It's also National Muffin Day, National Student Volunteer Day. There's a lot of good things today. Northern Hemisphere Hoodie Hoo Day. What? What is this? All right, let's just check this last page. Oh, and it's Rihanna's birthday. Most importantly, Rihanna's birthday. We haven't seen any weeks for a while. Like this week. I don't know. Maybe there's not a lot of weeks happening. Yeah, that's it for the regular episode, and maybe just briefly, I will say that we've been watching some movies. We got caught up on the Scream movies. I had never seen Scream 3 and 4, so we watched those before seeing the new one, which we just saw. Because I'm in the January times. And it's good. It's fun. I liked it. I'm still not entirely sure what my ranking of all 5 movies would be. I think there were some good things about it, but there were some other things that I didn't really care for so much. So I don't know. It's a fun series, and I'm not sure if I want them to keep on going with it. But if they do, I would be very curious to see where they go with it. We just watched Alien with my family, so my almost 12-year-old niece got to see Alien for the first time. Hopefully she'll be interested enough to keep on going with the rest of the series. What else? Ooh, I watched Encanto. Encanto? I think it's Encanto. If you have not seen that, although anybody listening to this, if you've got kids, you have probably seen this more than once. It's a really great movie. So if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. Very family friendly. And, yep, I think that's it. We finished page 279. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer, dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to another episode of The Dictionary. It is the podcast where me, Spencer, your host, reads the dictionary and comments on the things that he comes across as he sees fit. Let's see. This is my 3rd episode recording. I think I'm going to be done after this one because these episodes have been getting longer and longer because I have so much to say, and my voice gets raw sooner. So yeah, this is enough, I think, for today. All right. The first word is corps de ballet. CORPS. Second word, DE. Third word, BALLET. Noun from 1818. It is the ensemble of a ballet company. All of the people in the ballet company are the corps de ballet. Next word. Oh, what was my sound effect? What was it? She. Okay, that's it. Next word is correlate. No, correlate. Oh, yes, delete. Correlate. 2 words. The second word is D''ELITE. Correlate. Noun from 1832. 1. A body of picked troops. So the troops have been picked to be a part of a thing, of a body, or whatever, and they are probably the elite troops, which is why they were picked. So they are the corps d'élite. 2. A group of the best people in a category. I will never be part of a corps d'élite. Next word, and I think I did the sound effect she, or something along those lines. That's what it is now, because that's what I remember. It is the word corpse. CORPSE. Noun from the 13th century. 1 is archaic. A human or animal body, whether living or dead. I was going to say, I didn't realize we could call alive humans or animals' corpses, but no, it's archaic. So it's old. 2A, a dead body, especially of a human being. That's the one that we are most used to. But it can be animals as well. 2B, the remains of something discarded or defunct, as in the corpses of rusting cars. They're just left to rot. Next word, she. Corpsman, or actually, no, it would be corpsman. Corpsman. So it's plural, kind of? I don't know. That's weird. It is spelled Corpsman. I think that you could say corpsman, but it's the pronunciation guy says corpsman. So maybe that's what it is. Noun from 1901. 1. An enlisted man trained to give first aid and minor medical treatment. Number 2. A member of a government-sponsored service corps. Corpsman. Could be a woman, too. It says an enlisted man. Doesn't have to be a man. Next word. She. Corpulence. I'll spell it for the people who don't know. Corpulence. Noun from 1547. The state of being corpulent. What is corpulent? We will learn soon. She. Corpulency is next. Noun from 1577. The synonym is corpulence. That was the previous word. So then you go to that one, and it is the state of being corpulent. So now we have to read she, corpulent. Adjective from the 14th century, having a large, bulky body. And the synonym is obese. And then corpulently is an adverb. And yeah, all of these words, they basically just come from the word for body, corpus. It's just a bigger version of other. It's a bigger body. Corpulent. I wonder if lent, L-E-N-T, if that suffix has a very specific meaning. I'm not sure. It's just extra corpus. I don't know. I'm just making up. I don't know how they came up with this word. Okay, next word. She. It is cor pulmonale. Cor pulmonale. I think that is pretty close. This is 2 words. The first word is just C-O-R, and then pulmonale is the rest of it, or pulmonale might be better. Noun from 1857, disease of the heart, characterized by hypertrophy and dilation of the right ventricle and secondary to disease of the lungs or their blood vessels. So is it saying that there's 2 types of this? Well, pulmonale, that's related to the lungs. I'm just quickly, hypertrophy, dilation of the right ventricle and secondary. I'm not sure what the secondary means, but yes, it's related to the blood going to the lungs and that whole area. This is a bad thing. It's very bad. This is New Latin. It literally means pulmonary heart. Pulmonary heart. Lungs and heart. Next word. She. I don't know what this sound effect is. It's like a, I don't know, fancy. She. I'm so fancy. It is the word corpus. Noun from the 15th century. 1. The body of a human or animal, especially when dead. Corpus. That's why the word corpse is corpse, because it is from corpus, which means body. 2A, the main part or body of a bodily structure or organ, as in the corpus of the uterus. So it's not the body, the whole body, it's just the body, the piece, the thing. Each organ is its own body, its own thing. 2B, the main body or corporeal substance of a thing, but specifically the principle of a fund or estate as distinct from income or interest. Okay. 3A. All the writings or works of a particular kind or on a particular subject, especially the complete works of an author. You put all of the author's works together into one collection. It's a body of work. It's their body of work. It is the corpus. 3B, a collection or body of knowledge or evidence, especially a collection of recorded utterances used as a basis for the descriptive analysis of a language. There are lots of utterances in languages. So all of the collections of utterances, what are the basis for the descriptive analysis of a language? That's an interesting job. Analyzing languages. That's called a corpus. Okay, next word. She. It is corpus alatum or corpus alatum. 2 words. The second word is alatum. 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 Noun from 1947. One of a pair of separate or fused bodies in many insects that are sometimes closely associated with the corpora cardiaca and that secrete hormones. And the examples of those hormones are juvenile hormones. I am not entirely sure what this is. It is associated with the corpora cardiaca, which we are going to see a similar word soon. I think it would be the singular version of that. So we'll get a little bit more information coming up. The etymology says this is New Latin, and it literally means applied body. A body applied to something. It's separate or fused bodies in many insects. I don't know what it is. We'll learn more later. Okay, yes, and the plural would be corpora alata with an A at the end instead of the US or the UM. Next word, she. It is corpus callosum. Corpus callosum. And then again, the plural would be corpora callosa. Noun from 1677, the great band of commissural fibers uniting the cerebral hemispheres of higher mammals, including humans. And then it says to see the brain illustration. Should I quickly go back to the brain illustration and let's see if and describe where in the brain it is. This is gonna take me a second. We got bonsai. Oh, we're getting closer. I don't want to lose my place here because I think it would be great to put some context to this word. Okay, I think it's on this page. Here we go. Corpus callosum is number 2. It is it's in the middle. It's underneath all of what we think of the brain, the wavy things with all the wrinkles and stuff. It's inside of that, and it basically surrounds some other important pieces. It surrounds the ventricle. It surrounds kind of the fornix and the thalamus. Yeah. So that is what the corpus callosum is. And it's commissural fibers uniting the cerebral hemispheres of higher mammals, including humans, obviously. Okay, next word, she. It is corpus cardiacum. Cardiacum. I think that's how you say that. Corpus cardiacum, and the plural would be corpora cardiaca. And that is the word that was in the definition for corpus alatum. So, corpus cardiacum is a noun from 1960, one of a pair of separate or fused bodies of nervous tissue in many insects that lie posterior to the brain and function in the storage and secretion of brain hormone. Okay, so yes, we're definitely getting some more information. So it's a thing. When they use the word body, it's a little bit confusing because it's not like the body of a living thing. It's just a thing. It's its own thing. So it could be fused things, or they could be separate, mostly in insects that are behind the brain, and they secrete brain hormones. And then if we look back at corpus allatum, similar pair of separate or fused bodies in mostly many insects that are sometimes closely associated with this corpus cardiacum, and that also secrete hormones. So similar things inside of the insect brain, but they do different things, it looks like. Okay, next word. She. Corpus Christi. 2 words. The C is capitalized in both of them. Christi is Christi. Noun from the 14th century. It is the Thursday after Trinity, observed as a Roman Catholic festival in honor of the Eucharist. And this is Middle Latin, and it literally means body of Christ. And yes, so Christi means Christ, and corpus is body. And then I think in yesterday's episode, one of those episodes recently, we had the fabric that you put the Eucharist on, and it's all related to the word body. Okay, one more word for this episode. She. It is corpuscle. 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 Noun from 1661. A minute particle, just a very, very tiny particle, is a corpuscle. 2a. A living cell, especially one not aggregated into continuous tissues. Wow, I read that terribly. So it is a living cell, but especially one not aggregated into continuous tissues. So it's a living cell, but it's not connected to tissues that are continuous. There are examples. Red blood cell, white blood cell, or a cell in cartilage or bone. Does that make sense? Okay, good. 2b. Any of various small circumscribed multicellular bodies are corpuscles. And the etymology, I mean, we know it's basically related to body. It's the Latin corpusculum, which is a diminutive of corpus. But it's not a diminutive. Diminutive, I think of shorter, but usually they're not. They're usually longer than the original word. It's just diminutive just means it's a version of it. Corpuscular, that is an adjective. Something related to a corpuscle. Okay, so the words in this episode were corps de ballet, corps d'élite, corpse, corpsman, corpulence, corpulency, corpulent, cor pulmonale, corpus, corpus allatum, corpus callosum, corpus cardiacum, corpus Christi, and corpuscle. I think I will pick corpse as the word of the episode because we are all going to end up as a corpse. It's just the facts of life, and you know that it's coming, so you might as well make the most of the time that you are not a corpse. Unless, of course, you're using the archaic definition, which is a body, living or dead. I think I'm going to start referring to myself as a corpse. This corpse, it's got some issues, but it's done a fine job for 41 years. Okay, so a song about corpse. This is a song about corpse. Sometimes corpses can be alive, but usually we say corpses are dead. Dead, dead, dead. Corpse, corpse. The holidays. It is Card Reading Day. So if somebody gives you a card, you should read it. International Mother Language Day. What is your mother language? I think we've been losing a lot of mother languages. They just don't get passed down to the younger generations. And a lot of people are learning English and forgetting the other languages. I know in Iceland, they are the only people in the world who speak Icelandic. And so to keep that language alive, they make sure to teach everybody Icelandic, but everybody pretty much speaks English. I mean, they learn English from a very, very young age. They also learn other languages from a young age, but it's very important to keep those languages alive, I think. But there's a lot of ones they're just gone to time. It's National Grain-Free Day. Be free of grains today. I don't think you're going to be free of grains if you celebrate National Sticky Bun Day. I think that's made of grains. It's President's Day. I believe that's only in the U.S. because I think it's just celebrating the U.S. presidents. Single Tasking Day. Can you do one task all day? I would go crazy if I did one task all day. I think I started on the fun holidays, and that never happens. So we got to go back. South Africa has Armed Forces Day. In Norway, it is birthday of King Harald V. I don't know if he's still alive or if he's a corpse, but happy birthday, King Harald. And it's spelled Harald. In Vanuatu, it is Father Linny Day. In Bangladesh, it's Language Movement Day, and that's related to International Mother Language Day. In Bhutan, it is the first day of the birth anniversary of 5th Druk Gyalpo. In Tangum City, Philippines, it is the first day of the Musicon Festival. I assume that's related to music. That would be fun to go to. Ancient Rome is celebrating Feralia. Are people still in ancient Rome? Let's see. What is Feralia? It is, celebrating the Roman spirits of the dead, particularly the souls of deceased individuals. How appropriate that we read the word corpse. And of course, there's a lot more information. Go celebrate your dead. Bring out your dead. Any other holidays? Family Day in Canada, Heritage Day in Canada, Islander Day in Canada, Louis Riel Day in Canada. Canada, bring in the holidays. Okay, last page to check. It's also Nova Scotia Heritage Day, another Canada Day, and it's also just Family Day. Be with your family. All right, that's it. That is all I have to say, I think. I'm sure I've got lots of other things in my brain that I could say, but I've said enough. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, that's tomorrow. This has been Spencer Dispensing Information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Thank you for joining me on this journey of reading this very, very large book and listening to me. Maybe should I do one episode where I don't comment at all? I say none of my personal thoughts. If you would like me to do an episode like that, let me know. Some of you probably don't like it when I talk, and some of you probably like it when I talk. I don't know what the majority is, but I'm just going to do this for myself. Okay, so the first few words are, they're more of those corpus words. There was a few in yesterday's episodes: corpus alatem, callosem, cardiacum. We have more of these. So what are they? Let's read them. The first one is corpus delicti or delicti. Delicti, delicti. Corpus is the first word. Second word is delicti. Noun from 1818. 1. The substantial and fundamental fact necessary to prove the commission of a crime. So I thought this was going to be related to something in the body, but it's not. 2. The material substance upon which a crime has been committed. And the example of that substance could be the body of the victim of a murder. So if we put it all together, the body in a murder upon which a crime has been committed. It's the material substance upon which a crime has been committed. I need to know context. How does this get used? It gets used in court, probably. And it is New Latin. It literally means body of the crime. It's right in there. Delicti, that is crime. Okay, sound effect. I'm going to do a little musical thing again. What did I do? Dee-dee-dee-dee-doo. It sounds like it has not resolved. Dee-dee-doo-doo-doo. Maybe it will resolve later. Next word is corpus luteum. Corpus luteum. And it's spelled the way it sounds. Noun from 1788. A yellowish mass of progesterone-secreting endocrine tissue that forms immediately after ovulation from the ruptured Graafian follicle in the mammalian ovary. Okay, there is a lot of information here. The yellowish mass of progesterone endocrine tissue form. So after ovulation, when the egg leaves the ovary in the Graafian follicle, there is a yellowish mass. Wait, there's tissue, an endocrine thing, a yellowish mass of progesterone. Oh, yo. I'm making this more complicated. I'm trying to simplify things and make it more understandable because it's in a... Anyway, luteum, corpus luteum is this yellowish mass. And it, you look at the name, if you know Latin, it means yellowish body. That's a very clever name. Doctors or science people who named it. And this is, let's see, I'm trying to find, there was another one, I think, in yesterday's episode that also talked about the Graafian follicle. And this one seems like, yes, we are definitely talking about the egg in a female mammal, and the ovary and the fallopian tubes and all that. That's where we are. Next word, corpus. Well, it doesn't say how to pronounce it, but I think it is corpus striatum. Corpus striatum, noun from 1851, either of a pair of masses of nervous tissue within the brain that contain two large nuclei of gray matter separated by sheets of white matter. And this is Latin, and it literally means striated body. Like, yeah, striated, stripy kind of. Next word, do. It is corr, C-O-R-R. This is an abbreviation for 1, correct, corrected, or correction. 2, correspondence, correspondent, corresponding. And 3, corrupt and corruption. Do. Next is corrade, C-O-R-R-A-D-E, corrade. Verb from 1646, starts with transitive, to wear away by abrasion. Actually, when you hear corrade, I don't know, that's just, it sort of makes sense in my brain. Gonna corrade it away. But it's specifically abrasion. So, rubbing something over and over again, it's going to be eroded away. Maybe with like sandpaper. And then intransitive says to crumble away through abrasion. Now, those seem very similar to me. The transitive-intransitive difference didn't come through. To wear away by abrasion, to crumble away through abrasion. I'm a little bit confused by that. So this is from the Latin corradere, which means to scrape together. And that is from cum plus radere, and radere means to scrape. And there's more at the word rodent. Rodents like to scrape. Corrasion is a noun, and corrasive is an adjective. And this is, I think the reason it's sounding like it makes sense to me is because abrasion, there's other words that I'm not thinking of. Corrasion, they sound sort of similar, so that's helpful, I guess. I've never heard of this word though, corrade. Next word, do. Corral. Corral or corral, corral, first form, noun from 1582. 1. A pen or enclosure for confining or capturing livestock. 2. An enclosure made with wagons for defense of an encampment. And this, we have not ever seen this for real because this happened many, many years ago, but you see it in movies and TV shows in situations in the Old West. They would put all their wagons in a circle and either, have a camp for the night, or they might get attacked by the vicious redskin people. I'm saying that sarcastically because they were there first. They're just trying to protect their land. Okay, so this is Spanish from Vulgar Latin corrale, which means enclosure for vehicles. That is from Latin currus, which means cart, from currere, which means to run, and there's more at the word car. So this obviously started with the wagons, but then when they made these enclosures for animals, like, oh, it's kind of like when we put our wagons together. We'll call it a corral. Next word, do. Second form of corral. I don't know if I said it was the first form, the last one. So this one is a transitive verb from 1847. 1. To enclose in a corral. 2. To arrange wagons so as to form a corral. Corral into a corral. 3. The synonyms are collect and gather, as in corralling votes for the upcoming collection. Yeah, it basically just means collect these things together, gather them, either their wagons or votes or something else, or animals. Gather them up together. Okay, we are actually on our last word. Do. It is the word correct. correct. I missed the E. This is the first form. There's a number of definitions, and there's a bunch of synonym information. And the second form will be in tomorrow's episode, and that also has a bunch of synonym information. Okay, so the first form of correct is a verb from the 14th century. I'm looking to see, I think it's only transitive. 1a, to make or set right. Synonym is amend, as in correct an error. Yeah, I think if you have made an error, you should correct it. 1b, the synonyms are counteract and neutralize, as in correct a harmful tendency. 1c, to alter or adjust so as to bring to some standard or required condition, as in correct a lens for spherical aberration. I've said this before, it's crazy what they can do with lenses. Like contact lenses, if your eyeball is a little bit messed up, then your contact lens, your glasses lens will correct. It's amazing how they can do that. 2a, to punish, as a child, with a view to reforming or improving. Oh, this is rough. This is rough because this gets into a whole world of people trying to correct, usually a child, correct them for things that may be natural and other people don't think should be corrected. And I personally, depending on what we're talking about, I'm pretty sure that most of those things should not need not to be corrected. They are just who they are. 2A. No, that was 2A. 2B. To point out, usually for amendment, the errors or faults of. As in, spent the day correcting tests. Is that what the teacher is doing? They spend all day just correcting the tests that their students took? Correctable is an adjective, and corrector is a noun. This is from Latin correctus, which is from the verb corrigere, which is from com plus regere, which means to lead straight. Lead straight. And there's more at the word right. What is right? What is straight? Okay, synonym information. Correct, rectify, emend, that's emend with an E, remedy, redress, amend, so that's amend with an A, reform, and revise mean to make right what is wrong. Correct implies taking action to remove errors, faults, deviations, or defects, as in, correct your spelling. Rectify implies a more essential changing to make something right, just, or properly controlled or directed, as in, rectify a misguided policy. Emend, with an E, specifically implies correction of a text or manuscript, as in, emend a text. Remedy implies removing or making harmless a cause of trouble, harm, or evil, as in, set out to remedy the evils of the world. Good luck with that. Let's try. Redress implies making compensation or reparation for an unfairness, injustice, or imbalance, as in, redress past social injustices. Got to keep on working on it. Amend, with an A, reform, and revise imply an improving by making corrective changes. Okay, so this is like a subsection of the main section. We're talking about these three words, but more specifically, amend, usually suggesting slight changes. Okay, so this is like one big sentence. Amend, reform, revise imply an improving by making corrective changes. Amend, usually suggesting slight changes, like amend a law. Reform, implying drastic change, as in plans to reform the court system. And revise, suggesting a careful examination of something and the making of necessary changes, as in revise the schedule. And it says, see in addition the word punish. So what happens if you don't correctify, rectify, amend, remedy, redress, amend, reform, revise? You get punished. I don't know. Okay, so the words in this episode were corpus delicti, corpus luteum, corpus striatum, cor, corrade, corral, and correct. There are not a lot of words in this one. Let's see. I think maybe I should pick, just because it sounds fun, corpus striatum. Corpus striatum. Corpus striatum. It is striated stuff in the brain. Yes, it is. All right, I think it's holiday time. Okay, birthday of scouting and guiding founder Robert Baden-Powell and Olave Baden-Powell. Wait, so two people, do they have the same birthday? I'm not sure. But more specifically, in the World Organization of the Scout Movement, it is Founders Day, or BP Day, and also in the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, it is World Thinking Day. So I believe, here in America, we have the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, but in other countries, they have the Scouts, which I think mostly are co-ed, and which I think is how it should be. And there's no reason to separate the people. And so I guess the founders of that large movement, maybe this was when that movement was founded on this day, Robert and Olave Baden Powell. In Europe, it is Crime Victims' Day. It is Independence Day for St. Lucia from the UK in 1979. It is Washington's birthday. Let's check this page. It's also National Margarita Day. I'm pretty sure Washington often had margaritas, so we need to celebrate them together. In Argentina, it is Argentine Antarctica Day. And the very southern tip of Argentina is the closest place you can go to get to Antarctica. So I think what a lot of people do is they go there and then they take a boat, I believe, from the southern tip of Argentina to get to Antarctica. It is National Festival of the Sun, which is also in Argentina. I wonder if those holidays are related. Fun holidays. It is Be Humble Day. I don't think people are humble enough. European Day for Victims of Crime. We said that. That's not a fun one. That's a serious one. National Cook a Sweet Potato Day. National Wildlife Day. Respect and protect the wildlife. Play More Cards Day. Recreational Sports and Fitness Day. Supermarket Employee Day. This is your day. Walking the Dog Day. Oh, I sure hope you're walking the dog every day, multiple times a day. Also, World Spay Day. And it shows a picture of little kittens. Okay, one more page to check. Let's see if there's anything else. Single Tasking Day. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to another amazing episode of The Dictionary. This is my podcast where I read the dictionary and I tell you what I think about it as I go through. And I hope it's semi-entertaining. Okay, let's just get right to it. The first word is correct. C-O-R-R-E-C-T. Second form, adjective from 1668. 1. Conforming to an approved or conventional standard, as in correct behavior. And I think, as I mentioned in yesterday's episode, I think most of that does not need to be corrected. Maybe a little adjusted depending on the situation, but people are going to be what people are going to be. 2. Conforming to or agreeing with fact, logic, or known truth, as in a correct response. 3. Conforming to a set figure, as in enclosed the correct return postage. Oh, you always got to put the correct postage on there. I once had a situation where somebody sent me something. I think they just dropped it in the mail, and the postage was off. It was a little bit low, and it still got to me, but, actually, I had to go pick it up at the post office because I needed to pay for the rest of the postage. So they said, well, we're going to send it. We're not going to send it back to the sender for the correct postage, but we still got to get the last 26 cents or something. 3. No, that was 3. 4. Conforming to the strict requirements of a specific ideology or set of beliefs or values, as in environmentally correct, also as in spiritually correct. What does that even mean? Correctly is an adverb, and correctness is a noun. And here is the synonym information for the second form of correct. Correct, accurate, exact, precise, nice, and right mean conforming to fact, standard, or truth. And I think there's only one way to pronounce correct, right? Correct? Yeah, it's just the one way. I was worried that I pronounced it wrong for this second form. So, correct usually implies freedom from fault or error. Oh, I am free. I feel so free from fault or error. As in, correct answers. Also as in, socially correct dress. That's very subjective. Accurate implies fidelity to fact or truth attained by exercise of care, as in an accurate description. Exact stresses a very strict agreement with fact, standard, or truth, as in exact measurements. Precise adds to exact an emphasis on sharpness of definition or delimitation, as in precise calibration. Nice stresses great precision and delicacy of adjustment or discrimination, as in makes nice distinctions. Can't everybody just be nice? Right, this is R-I-G-H-T, is close to correct, but has a stronger positive emphasis on conformity to fact or truth, rather than mere absence of error or fault, as in the right thing to do. Sometimes I feel like different people have different opinions on what the right thing to do is, but not always. Okay, that was that. I was going to do the sound effect. It's not really a sound effect. It's just a silly, weird phrase. I won't even describe to you what my thought process was, but there was one for once. It is chickaboom. Next word is corrected time. 2 words. Noun from circa 1891. A boat's elapsed time less its time allowance in yacht racing. Ooh, okay, so it's a boat racing term. It was a little confusing. A boat's elapsed time less its time allowance in yacht racing. So there's a time allowance, and you subtract that from the elapsed time, and that is the corrected time. Okay, thank you. Chickaboom, chickaboom. Next word is correction. Noun from the 14th century. 1. The act or an instance of correcting. As 1A, the synonyms are amendment and rectification. 1B, synonyms are rebuke and punishment. 1C, a bringing into conformity with a standard. 1D, synonyms are neutralization and counteraction, as in correction of acidity. 2. A decline in market price or business activity following and counteracting a rise. This is some stuff that I don't fully understand, especially in this early times when my brain is not fully awake. 3A. Something substituted in place of what is wrong, as in marking corrections on the student's papers. You gotta tell a student what they got wrong and also why they got it wrong, and maybe what the answer is so they can learn it going forward. It's so very frustrating when you don't get corrected. You get told that you're wrong, but then you don't get to know, well, what is wrong, or why is it wrong, or what could I have done to make it better. 3B, a quantity applied by way of correcting. And the example is for adjustment of an instrument. A quantity applied by way of correcting. Wow, these definitions just get so weird. They're probably correct, but they're just worded weird, and it's so hard to fully absorb. What does that mean if I don't have context? 4. The treatment and rehabilitation of offenders through a program involving penal custody, parole, and probation. Also, the administration of such treatment as a matter of public policy. And this is usually used in plural, so corrections. Somebody did something wrong legally, and people are trying to correct him for it. Maybe they'll be corrected. That word it feels so, I'm gonna correct you. I don't know. Correctional is an adjective. Next word, chicka-chicka-boom. Correction fluid. 2 words, noun from 1968. A liquid used to paint over typing or writing errors. And, these days we know it as a whiteout. That might be a brand name. I'm not sure. There's also liquid something. It's the same thing. Oh, why can I not think of it? But you got, if you can't put it on your computer screen, although I don't think younger people today would ever consider that. They'd be like, what even is this stuff? We don't deal with text on paper. Yeah, people, when they used a typewriter, they would have to white out the mistake and then type over it with this little liquid. But it would get all crusty and weird, and I have not touched that stuff in a long, long time. Liquid whiteout, liquid white something, I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Let's move on to Chickaboom. It is correctitude. Correctitude, noun from 1893. It is correctness or propriety of conduct. Correctness or propriety of conduct. This is a blend of the words correct and rectitude. Next word, chicka-boom. Corrective, adjective from 1531, intended to correct. As in, corrective lenses, also as in corrective punishment. And I think it's interesting that it says they are intended to correct. They try to correct, but does that mean that it always corrects? I don't think corrective punishment always works, but I'm pretty sure that corrective lenses, it's not like they're gonna change their shape necessarily. Although, if we're talking about contact lenses or glasses, your eyes will change, so they may not. Eventually, they will not be correcting fully. You have to get new lenses. Corrective is also a noun, and correctively is an adverb. Okay, next word, chicka-boom. It is our last word, but we've got two forms. It is the word correlate, correlate. Any of those is fine. So this first form is a noun from 1643. 1. Either of two things so related that one directly implies or is complementary to the other. And the example is husband and wife, or we could just say spouse and spouse. So either two things so related that one directly implies or is complementary to the... So, okay, I think what they're saying is if you hear the word husband, you automatically know that there is another word that exists that is related to that husband, and that is the wife. Obviously, other words would be better. This is just an example. So they correlate to each other, the words and the people. 2. A phenomenon that accompanies another phenomenon is usually parallel to it and is related in some way to it, as in precise electrical correlates of conscious thinking in the human brain. Ooh. That is a quote from Bayard Webster. I would like to read it again. Precise electrical correlates or correlates. See, I don't even know how to say it. Precise electrical correlates of conscious thinking in the human brain. So there's multiple parallel conscious thinking in the brain, I think. I don't know. Correlate or correlate is also an adjective. And here we go with the very last word. Chicka-boom, chicka-boom. Chicka-boom-boom. It is correlate, second form, verb from circa 1742. And yes, I think this one is just correlate. So we are starting with one intransitive definition: to bear reciprocal or mutual relations. And the synonym is correspond. And transitive, 1a, to establish a mutual or reciprocal relation between, as in correlate activities in the lab and the field. So a scientist does some studies in the lab. Actually, no, probably they would do it in the field first. So they go out to the field, whatever that field is for them. It could be digging up bones. It could be going to the swamps to study how many flies are there. I don't know. And then they take their information back to the lab and all of that information, and then they do more studying. They look at the data or the data, whatever that is, and those activities in the lab and the field, they correlate to each other. Okay, 1B. Where does it start? Okay, to show correlation or a causal relationship between. 2. To present or set forth so as to show relationship, as in, this is a quote, he correlates the findings of the scientists, the psychologists, and the mystics. And that is a quote from Eugene Exman. E-X-M-A-N. He's an X-Man. A real X-Man. Okay, so what was he talking about? Who was he talking about? He correlates the findings of the scientists, the psychologists, and the mystics. So somebody, I don't know if this was a fiction or a true person, but whoever this person was, they took the information from the scientists, the psychologists, and the mystics, and they put it all together and tried to find a correlation. Tried to find how they correlate all together. I don't know if it worked, but they tried. Correlatable is an adjective, correlatable, and correlator is a noun. And that is the end of that part. So the words in this episode were correct, corrected time, correction, correction fluid, correctitude, corrective, and correlate or correlate. I think I will pick correction fluid as the word of the episode because I used this quite a lot when I was younger. You make a mistake, you make it go away somehow. These days, instead of the fluid, I think a lot of people use the little tape. There's those little tape dispensers so you can put the white over the thing and then you can write on top of it, or I don't know. Because we don't want to waste. We don't want to redo. If you type a whole page and you make one little mistake, you don't want to redo the whole page. You just want to fix the one little mistake. Thank you, correction fluid. Thank you, correction fluid. You have made our lives better. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's read the holidays for today. We're getting close to the end of the holiday thing. It is the emperor's birthday in Japan. It's the birthday of Naruhito, who is the current emperor of Japan. In Guyana, it is Mashramani Republic Day. In Latvia, it is Meteni. In Brunei, it is National Day. In the Soviet republics have Red Army Day or Day of Soviet Army and Navy. That's the former Soviet Union. But today in Russia, they've got Defender of the Fatherland Day. In Belarus, it is Defender of the Fatherland and Armed Forces Day. And Tajikistan has Armed Forces Day. All right, let's check this page. Anything else? In Canada, it is Pink Shirt Day. Let's quickly click on that to figure out why. What is with the pink shirts? Raise awareness about bullying. This is big. Way too many people and kids have been bullied in person and online, and it has caused some very, very, very bad results. So don't bully, and try and stop bullying if you can. Wear a pink shirt. Fun holidays. Curling is Cool Day. Both literally, because it's played on ice. This is the one where they push those curling stones, those very heavy curling stones down ice, and then they broom it up, they broom the ice, and it takes a lot of skill. It's also, so yes, it's cool literally, and it does also cool fashionably. It's Diesel Engine Day. It is Why Would You Want to Do This? Inconvenience Yourself Day. I don't think I will be purposely inconveniencing myself. International Dog Biscuit Appreciation Day. All over the world, we got to appreciate the dog biscuits. That's kind of a weird one to be celebrating worldwide, but hey, it's important. Dogs need their biscuits. It's National Banana Bread Day, National Rationalization Day. So just rationalize things in your brain. National Tile Day. Maybe you can rationalize why you chose to tile the floor that way. Play Tennis Day. World Understanding and Peace Day. Ho ho, that's a biggie. How can we get the world to understand what the rest of the world is thinking and have peace? To respect and understand that other cultures are different? What a concept. Yes, let's understand and respect all that stuff. That's it. Those are all the holidays. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.